22 will probably go into this show tonight. Anything that they've got, like surprise-wise and everything. I can't say I'm expecting any surprises, but who knows? Who knows what they've got planned? So, yeah, Winter is coming. As I said, didn't even know that it was tonight, you know. Didn't even know that Winter and his coming was taking place tonight. I don't know why. It's just not really had much of a build for me. I've just not seen much about it. I think it might be because the World Cup is still on. And I just haven't had a chance to, like, see anything. So I probably would have changed the thumbnail over. I probably would have done some stuff. But I didn't realize. I didn't realize tonight was the night for Winter is Coming. Kind of feels like this background is not the right background for Winter is Coming as well. So let's see if we can change the background over. Winter. Let's just put Winter in and see what comes up for Winter. If we go Winter, we'll see what we get. Okay, we've got some nice little designs here. I feel like we can definitely do something with this. Let's go. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I think we can save this. We can save this stream. We definitely shouldn't be in the desert. I know that much. Let's change it over for... Oh, look at this. Look at this. Winter is coming. Let's make it a bit bigger, though. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's fresh. That's what that feels like. Fresh. So, yeah, Winter is coming. And we are... hopefully going to be enjoying a big show tonight. So appreciate the entertainment, said Evo. Evo, shout out to you. Hello, everyone. Haven't been on streams in a while. Hello, Atomic Wrestling. Just finished finals. I don't watch AEW, but I do want to tonight. Can anyone catch me up? Well, all you need to know is that the current champion is MJF. MJF is the current champ. He took the title not that long ago against Jon Moxley. So he's only been champ for a few weeks. But he is defending against Ricky Starks. We've also got Ruby Soho taking on Melo. Anyone else surprised? There's a couple of things here that don't quite feel like Winter is Coming. Like, Winter is Coming to me is like a big show. So MJF versus Starks, big tick. That's a big, big tick, yeah? So MJF versus Starks, lovely. Thank you very much. Then Death Triangle against Elite. I mean, we've seen it 3 times. This is match number 4, but I'm not down on it. You know, they're big stars. It's a big match. Thank you very much, right? But then the only other stuff that I've seen that's been announced is Chris Jericho in action. Don't know who against. Hopefully someone juicy. Maybe Adam Cole, baby. Then we've got House of Black in action. Don't know who that's against. Hopefully Adam Cole, baby. And then we've got Ruby Soho taking on Melo, who, I mean, like, I don't know, that does nothing to me. That doesn't do anything whatsoever. So the card tonight isn't like, oh my God, this is amazing type situation. MJF Starks is amazing. But what with MJF only just being champion, I get the feeling he's going to retain. But it'll, you know, it's still a world championship match. So MJF against Ricky Starks, not down on it. Death Triangle against the Elite, it's not my kind of match, but it's big. I'm not down on it. But outside of that, there's not loads. I suppose what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping for some surprises. I'm hoping that we're going to be getting Adam Cole, as I said. I think Chris Jericho in action is very interesting. Who is he going to be in action against? As I said, I think that's very interesting. Ruby and Melo, House of Black. Obviously, there's going to be more things than that, but that's everything that's been announced so far. And I haven't seen if there's any teasers. Sometimes Tony Khan can come out and say, like, oh, there's going to be something big tonight. You don't want to miss the show. Haven't seen if he said anything like that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they've got up their sleeves. Hasib said, I don't think the feud with MJF and Ricky Starks will be done after this match. Who do you want to see his first big feud be with? I want to see it with Adam Cole. Oh, hang on. I think the feud with MJF and Ricky Starks will be done after this match. Who do I want to see his first big feud with? I would say Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it needs to be against a face. Adam Cole, last time we saw him, I think was a heel. I don't think he's a face at the moment. What with Britt Baker being a heel, it makes it hard to maybe make Adam Cole a face. I mean, you can do it, but it just makes it a little bit more complicated. I would go with Bryan Danielson. What are your thoughts on Mandy Rose being let go? I don't really have any, to be honest. I was surprised to hear the news. I can't remember who said it yesterday, but props to them because someone in the chat did say yesterday, could it be because of the leaked images? My reaction was no. I didn't think it was. I just thought it was time for her to get called up. I mean, I've been watching these shows waiting for her to lose for a little while now. It certainly felt like it's time. It's been quite a few times where we thought, oh, they're going to call it Toxic Attraction. So Mandy losing the title here wasn't... I mean, Mandy losing the title at any point was going to be a moment because she's held it for so long. But it didn't feel like a strange moment. The only thing that I did say last night was it felt rushed. It felt really rushed. I didn't think the match was very good at all. And it did feel like the moment was rushed. And so now maybe we're starting to find out why it felt that way. My feelings are that it's unfortunate. I think that I can't disagree with WWE doing it. I mean, look, WWE have turned around and said we're not comfortable with you doing this like other content. So we'd rather that you didn't do that. I mean, you can... Apparently, they've said you can stay if you don't do this other content. That's the word on the street. And she's turned around and said, no, I want to keep doing this. So as a result, thanks a lot. Bye for now. So I can't say it's her choice to lose her job, but word on the street from what's being said is that she didn't want to give up that other stuff. And she was given the ultimatum and she chose the other stuff. So I think, well, you know, I can see WWE's predicament. I mean, it's a fine line. Like, how risky do you get? I never saw these images. I promise you I never saw these images. So I have no idea how bad they were. I haven't searched for them. I don't care to find them. But, I mean, I'm guessing they must be quite bad. I mean, we were just looking at some images that just get put on Instagram. There's one that's got Lacey Evans where it leaves very little to the imagination. And that was selected as one of WWE's top 25 Instagram pictures of the week. So God only knows what Mandy was doing if she's gone further than that. But it seems like this is quite the money spinner for her. And so I think she's decided to stick with that. Now, what the truth is around all of that, I genuinely don't know. This obviously has caught a lot of people, by myself included, by surprise. No one expected. We weren't sat here watching NXT 24 hours ago talking about Mandy being let go. So it's really kind of come out of the blue. So, yeah, it's a real shame. I still think there's probably a way forward when the dust settles. You know, this is one of those where, you know, if she did change her mind on it and decide not to pursue that, the door might still be open for her to return. They've invested a lot in Mandy Rose. They really have. If you think that they've put her over loads of people for 400 odd days, she has been the woman that they've pushed above all other women. She's won matches over the likes of Indy Hartwell, over the likes of Alba Fire, over the likes of Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, you know, over the likes of Miko Satomura, over the likes of so many women, so many. Saray, I remember having a match with. And she finally then goes up against Roxy and loses the title in a match that wasn't, as we said, very good, but we understand why now. And I think that if she would distance herself from that kind of content, I think they would welcome her back. I think they would allow her back. I think they would, because I think that that's a lot of investment. That's a lot of time, money, and energy they have invested in her. And I don't think that decision would have been took lightly. I really don't. I don't think that's a straightforward decision. You know, that's the third longest women's reign in NXT history. You don't just let that person go without really thinking it through. You really don't. You've got to know if you're letting them go, she could end up going to... God, they'd love her at AEW. She's stunning, and she's been massively promoted on NXT, which gets over 500,000 views a week. She's been consistently on that show. You know, they're messing around with Anna Jay. They're messing around with Ty Conti. they're messing around with like just women that shouldn't be on TV, to be perfectly truthful. They could bring in someone that's got a bit of star power about them, someone that's got a little bit of something about them, and boom, they've got someone that would be worth paying the money for. So I think WWE would be aware of that. I think that WWE would have really thought about it, and I think they probably thought they were in a situation where they had to go in that direction. So yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame. Aaron, hello, bud, said, House of Black, I'm excited for it. Should be a great show tonight. Sean said, do you think WWE will bring a veteran woman into NXT to help, similar what they did with Mandy Rose? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think that they brought her in to strengthen the women's division as such. I think that they just bring people in to strengthen NXT overall. For example, we've seen Natalya come in. We've seen Charlotte come in. We've seen Apollo come in. We've seen AJ Styles and the OC come down to give it a bit of a boost for a couple of weeks. We've seen Dolph be NXT champion. We're now seeing the New Day be tag team champion. So I don't know that it's a case of let's get a woman to strengthen the women's division. I think what it is let's just get a bit of star power down there. So could they bring another woman in just to ensure the star power remains? Sure. But I don't know that it'll be anyone massive. I mean, you'd probably be looking at someone like maybe Xia Li going back down, or you might be looking at a Dana Brooke going back down, or you might be looking at a Natalya going down and just having a little run for a while. Like, it might be, or like, might be a name along those lines. I don't know that it's going to be a Bayley or a Becky or anything like that. But New Day were massive, weren't they? New Day going back down was huge. So, yeah, they absolutely could go in that direction and put a woman back down there. But I must admit, I don't look at it and think that's what they need. NXT has never needed that. I think it just, for me, NXT really does need to be bringing in some really great wrestlers that know how to wrestle, that have already got an identity. They have to do so much from scratch. The amount of work that NXT and the people in NXT have to do is so much greater than it used to be. Never used to be this hard, because you would just go and get the best indie talent that already had gimmicks. Think about Finn Balor. So Finn Balor was at New Japan. He then went to NXT. He already had the Demon. The Demon had already been used as Prince Devitt. So now he's coming in as a Finn Balor. He's got the Demon that he can turn to. He knows how to cut promos. He certainly knows how to have wrestling matches. He was the guy that created Bullet Club. And now here he is in NXT. And they do not have that now. They do not have that experience. They do not have that. I mean, they have to use it from the main roster, to be honest. This is where your Mandy Roses, your New Days and whatever, just them being around a little bit probably is a massive help, because there's a lot of talent that just doesn't have that know-how, doesn't have that experience. The vast majority of the talent there are people that used to be gymnasts, used to be in baseball, used to be in NFL or trying to get to NFL, used to be trying to do stuff in like rugby or trying to do stuff in other sports, basketball, and now here they are in NXT trying to become professional wrestlers. And for me, that's their biggest problem there. I used to be able to sit down and watch NXT and enjoy Finn Balor. I used to be able to enjoy Hideo Itami. I used to be able to enjoy Asuka. I used to be able to enjoy Bayley, who came from the Indies. You used to be able to enjoy all of this talent. And then, yes, there was talent that they were producing, like Bianca Belair, who had not been a wrestler before, and there's talent that they're producing now, like Andre Chase, who I don't believe was a wrestler before, or Grayson Waller, who wasn't a wrestler before. And so, they're able to take these stars, but they could mix them in with that experience. And that's what made NXT so great, was that the top end of the cards, your Johnny Garganos, Tommaso Ciampas, your, Revivals, your Austin Theory. Like, these had all come from, like, the indies. They'd already got experience. They knew how to wrestle. They knew how to do promos. They already had a rough idea of what their gimmicks were. And that was such a strength of NXT that you was watching, in a way, the best of the indies. You were watching the best of the indies, and then you sprinkle in a bit of talent that's learning, but you don't mind watching that. It doesn't matter about this guy that's faffing around, doesn't know what he's doing, because later on we've got Johnny Gargano against Alistair Black. Oh my God, that's going to be amazing. Or we've got Asuka, going to be taking on Ember Moon. Oh, that'll be good. Do you know what I mean? Like you had other things going on. So the development of these people was playing out in the background. Whereas now that talent's not there. That indie talent is not there. They made the decision to not turn to the indies and actually go with this next in line stuff. So, I think maybe on reflection, it probably is going to be important to bring down some people from the main roster so that you've got some of that experience in NXT. Because that experience, I think, could be really guiding some of this young, inexperienced talent. So maybe they will replace her with someone that's been there, done it, and been on the main roster. And it can be a good boost for them. I don't know how much bigger Mandy was going to be going back than when she left, but she at least had a lot of TV time behind her, or a good, credible NXT run behind her, toxic attraction behind her. So I feel like she was coming up with plenty of momentum. So I think it would have worked for her. But it's debatable as to how much of a benefit it was for Finn. Don't forget, Finn Balor went back down and had a big second run. And I don't know that it really did much for Finn going back down that second time, to be honest. I think what it probably did was just distance him from the demon. That was probably its biggest achievement. But there's lots to throw around with NXT. It's quite the hot topic. NXT and AEW don't translate to the other shows, no matter what big names jump ship. The only time AEW grabbed an NXT audience was when NXT moved nights. Fans weren't aware watching TNT, and AEW did 1.2. You have indie wrestlers jobbing on AEW YouTube shows, says David. Wrestling fan said NXT hasn't been good since about 2013 or 2014. Esteban said, hopefully we get some cheeky boss references tonight. Gordon said, Mandy got fired because she posted on the internet. The Beach Kevin said, real reason Mandy left was because she would never be able to beat Sol Ruka, and she left in shame. Shame. What are you watching it on tonight? I'm watching it on Fight TV, buds. NXT is now a WWE ego trip. WWE is saying we can create our own sports entertainers without the input of indie wrestling. Yeah, to be honest, I think that will change. I think that directive came from Vince. So when Vince changed NXT to NXT 2.0, I think that it was part of that process that they really stopped looking at the indies. And, it is true that indie talent now is being looked at more by AEW. And the only problem that AEW has got is that they don't have an NXT. So for them, they're taking this talent that really needs to be worked with. And, it is true. People in the indies are not starting out because some of them have been there a long time, but they're not really ready for Raw and SmackDown and 20,000 people in an arena and traveling from hotel to hotel every night and learning the secrets of the business, how to cut a promo, what things to include, how to hit your markers. There's lots of things that fans don't think of, but even just the standing there waiting for the camera to come on and where do I look, and there might be a few cameras on you, how do you know what camera to look at? Answering questions without freezing, knowing where to be at what certain times, just lots of little things. On the indies, you're told, right, it's your match next, and you go out there, you have your match. That's it. There's not loads that you need to do on the indies, when you're doing all these little shows inside sports halls, right? No disrespect to the indies, but that's what they largely are. And so to come from that world and go to Raw and SmackDown and hard cams and knowing how to include a crowd, right? And bring them into your match, like taking that moment to taunt, which is important, to make sure the crowd is still involved in the action. Like all of this kind of stuff, selling, for example, facial expressions, again, facial expressions in the indies, it's not as important. It might be, your back might be turned to half the crowd at any one time. Whereas here, the camera is going to be right in your face. If there's a big power move and you're down, there are millions of people in that certain moment that could be looking at your facial reactions. And so you've got to do all these checks, really. You do need that time to go, can they do this? Can they do that? No? Okay, well, here we go. Here's a bit of training. Show me your promos. Show me this. Show me that. Show me what you can do in a TV environment, like bang, 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 bang. There's lots of stuff to teach, to check, to fine tune, to, not only that, you've got to sort out a name, you've got to sort out an entrance, you've got to sort out a gimmick. There's so much that has to be done. That's why so many talents go straight to NXT and not to the main roster. It's very, very rare that someone would have all of those boxes ticked. Very rare. I'm not saying they don't exist, but it's very rare. And the problem that AEW have got is that they don't have the ability to really create that and come up with that. The only place they can do it, if they like someone at the moment, is on Dark and Elevation, where they just keep inviting people back and then they'll do some work with them in that environment and then maybe take a chance. And, I'm thinking Sky Blue, for example. They seem to like Sky Blue. So Sky Blue is someone that's been used a lot on Dark, she's been used a lot on Elevation. Now we're starting to see her a little bit on Dynamite, but, she's being put in tag matches. She's being put in with a group of other people. They don't have an NXT show that she can go on and develop like what NXT is. So it's, Vince has decided that he would much rather, I think, rather than bringing in the smaller indie guys and girls, go and get some monsters, go and get some bigger guys, go and get some failed basketball players, failed American football players, and teach them how to wrestle from scratch. If they're willing and they've got the right attitude, then they'll pick it up, and they'll pick it up within a time frame that's acceptable to WWE, and you create your own stars that way. And Vince has always prioritized size, that's no secret. But to be honest, the indies are not full of giant people. The big guys in America want to do football. They want to do basketball. They want to do things that isn't wrestling. It's actually quite rare for a bigger guy to get into wrestling. Even Braun Strowman wanted to be a strong man. He was a strong man. Hulk Hogan was a bodybuilder and was seen at a gym. And so, got recruited that way. There's tons of wrestlers that came from American football and everything. So it's quite rare that you get the bigger guys coming through the indies. And I think that was a Vince decision as to, right, we're not going to use the indies. I want to try and recruit and then train our own. And, that was the whole system that Triple H was put in charge of. He was put in charge of that next in line, that nil program. It's all very interesting. Mandy will have Tony Khan wrapped around her finger and she will take the division over, said Mr. Unfamiliar. Do you think Sasha Banks will debut tonight on Dynamite? 100% no. She's still under contract with WWE, apparently till January. So legally, I don't even think she can debut tonight. Primo said, do you think the special pops a nice number? The card looks strong. I think that it might boost it to do a little better than it usually does, but honestly, I don't know that we do 1 million. We've been down at 800 odd thousand. I don't know that this card looks that strong, to be perfectly truthful. I think MJF Ricky Starks is really interesting. That will drive views, but then, the ratings for Elite and Death Triangle, this is the 4th match. The matches we've seen before have not done anything for the ratings. And then outside of that, you got Ruby Soho against Ty Conti. I'll admit, I am a wrestling fan, obviously. I had no idea it was Winter is Coming tonight. I didn't know. Until I actually went onto Twitter to see what the lineup was tonight. And they were like, tonight's the night, Winter is coming, all this. I had no idea. In fact, we're getting a few more matches being announced now. 15 minutes ago, they're saying Brian Cage against Jack Perry. So that's been announced for tonight. We're also going to hear from the Acclaimed. So we've got that. House of Black in action, but don't know who against. Chris Jericho in action, but don't know who against. Maybe there'll be nice surprises. Hopefully they are. Ruby Soho against Ty Melo. We've got that. MJF against Starks. Death Triangle against the Elite. So that's what we've got coming up tonight. And as we said, there's potential for some surprises there. But don't know what we're getting. Hayden said Christmas is only 10 days away. You're right, Birds. Hayden, shout out to you. You're right. 10 days. Let us know in the chat, what is it that you're hoping to get for Christmas? What's the one thing that you want to get for Christmas? I don't know what I'm getting. Well, I'll tell you what, I am getting a one-player board game. I already know that. And I'm getting that, and I'm going to have that set up here whilst I watch a film and have something to eat, and that is my Christmas. 10 days. Well, Hayden, shout out to you. Sasha Banks has signed a New Japan contract to face Kairi for the AEW Women's Championship, says Adam. Adam Pearce has reversed his decision. Bobby is not fired. Sublime said, me and my brother got into trouble for wrestling on my mom's bed. We played Randy Orton, John Cena's intro with our Walmart belts. I miss it. The unprofessional EVPs and Death Triangle will chase away about 300,000 viewers, said Travis. What if Hogan went to NXT? That'd be cool. I don't know what reaction he would get. I really don't know what reaction he would get. I mean, he has really soured his reputation, and I understand why. I don't feel sorry for him, but I just feel sorry for everyone, which sounds really rubbish, but what I mean is, like, Hogan was like the guy, weren't he? Do you know what I mean? Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. You either really loved Hogan, or I think you had a respect for Hogan. Like, I didn't love Hogan because he was Mr. America, and that obviously, doesn't really resonate with me. Like, respect to my American friends, but sat here in the UK, him coming down waving the stars and stripes and being like Mr. America didn't really resonate with me. Like, the Ultimate Warrior spoke a lot more to me. Like, the Ultimate Warrior, if I had to choose, the Warrior was the one that was like, oh man, he's so cool. Brought like so much energy and, warriors. I was proper into the Ultimate Warrior when I was young. If Warrior had stuck around and had maybe evolved a little as a character, maybe, found a way to cut some better promos rather than just the rambling ones. I know that was his gimmick, but you've got to evolve, haven't you? You've got to. I feel like Warrior has a fantastic few years. And then I don't know if the gimmick runs its course, but I think that, it just, where else was it going to go? You can only be the wild running man for so long. I don't know that the wild running man is a gimmick that's going to work forever. And so it's a shame that ran out of steam. But had he evolved and not been a douche in real life, he would undoubtedly be my favorite wrestler of all time. Undoubtedly. Without not even close. Because as a kid, he was the one. I used to buy videotapes, look just to see if the Warrior was on them. I used to love the Warrior. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel sorry for people, really, because he meant so much to a lot of people. I respected Hogan when I was young. He wasn't the person that I loved, but I had a lot of respect for him, and I certainly enjoyed watching everyone free. Like, there's something special about watching all the fans freaking out. Hogan's here, and the place erupts, and a real American, and he's doing the posing and all of that. It's really cool. I could recognize that it was cool. Corey said, tell me Vince is not coming back. Vince isn't coming back. I feel pretty confident about that. He wants to come back, but I think that there's going to be quite a few obstacles in his way to prevent him from coming back. So I'm not sat here expecting him to return. I think that his family will tell him that it's not in the company interest. I think that if he speaks to Steph, and speaks to Triple H, I think that they would try and dissuade him. Even if he wants to do it, I don't know how easy of a process that's going to be to do. He has got like voting powers, but there's definitely obstacles that people can put in his way. I don't think it's a situation where he's just like, right, I'm coming back and that's it. I think that it's more complicated than that. There's, sponsors and people that I think would be concerned, and I think shareholders would be concerned, and they'd have to worry about the stock price, and there might even be some vetoing powers that he'd have to worry about. So I really don't know how straightforward that would be, to be honest, for him to just return. So no, I think he wants to, but is that news? Do you think? Is that a surprise? The news is Vince wants to come back. Is that a surprise? Like, for me, I don't think he ever wanted to retire. I think he was made to retire. I've always thought that. So the news that he wants to come back isn't the biggest shock in the world. The bigger shock will be if he does come back. That's where things get super serious. So for me, this news was newsworthy. I mean, we haven't heard anything from Vince. We don't know where his mindset is. So for the Wall Street Journal to report that Vince wants to come back it's newsworthy. But if you stop and think about it, is it surprising? Is it surprising? Because he was forced into retirement. He wanted to stick around. He's ridden many scandals before, and I think he thought he could ride this one as well. So I never thought that he genuinely had retired. I don't think anyone did. He was made to retire, and we'll have to see. I don't expect him to return, and it's going to be interesting to see how much he pushes that and forces that. Why doesn't he be an ambassador and then he can do work with like Titus O'Neil? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Your background makes me want to go and play Skyrim, said Tortnight. Biggest Halloween fan said, what's your thoughts on Cody? Will he win the Rumble? I don't know that he wins the Rumble because there was reports that they were interested in The Rock winning the Rumble. So I can't say he's going to win the Rumble. I think that he should win the Rumble, and I think almost certainly next year he wins one of the big titles. I like him. I think that it's such a shame he picked up that injury, but, it is what it is, isn't it? These injuries happen, unfortunately. It'll be a big return when he comes back, and I expect him back soon. Primo said, if Tony Khan doesn't have Sasha in the pipeline as a surprise, how vital is it for Tony to announce an opponent quick? Because this could blow up in his face. I don't think that it will. I mean, you've got to think that he wants people to talk about who's the partner going to be. That's the whole point of doing it. Now, if you've speculated Sasha, well, that ain't his fault, is it? That's not his fault. If you speculate that Sasha's going to be the partner, that's not Tony Khan's fault. It's a mystery person, and he's not said that it's Sasha. He's just said it's a mystery person that's going to partner Paige. There's been other mystery persons before. This is as likely to be Thunder Rosa's return, which in the world of AEW would be a decent return because she is the champ that never lost the belt. So if you are going to face the champ, Jamie and Britt, it would make perfect sense for that to be Thunder Rosa, actually. So I think if there are people out there thinking that it's Sasha, it's really on them more than it's on Tony. So I don't think it's that big of a problem. To be honest, it's keeping AEW in the conversation, isn't it? The speculation around who is it going to be, and then you tuning in to find out, that's exactly what Tony wants. It's exactly what Tony wants. And if you tune in thinking it's going to be Sasha, and it's not Sasha, I bet you anything you'll tune in again the next time there's another mystery that you want to know the answer to. So I don't think it does blow up in Tony's face. I think he's fine, to be honest. I think this is fine. I don't think this is a big problem for him. I think that really it's the fans that shouldn't expect a certain thing. It's a mystery. We don't know who it is. There's no word that this is Sasha at all. So if there are people out there thinking this is Sasha, and you've got it in your head that it's Sasha, that really is on you. That's not on Tony. I agree. It was only a 90-second backstage. Fans immediately presumed Sasha after New Japan broke last week, says Primo. Days, the surprise tonight is Tony is going to come out announcing he's got a huge announcement that will ultimately underwhelm and not deliver. Beautiful. Are we getting apple pie brownies this Christmas, said Wrestling Fan. What, you're getting apple pie brownies? I've never even heard of such a thing, but enjoy that. Shy's Garage said, I can't believe the Mandy Rose news and how it took over a month and a half after the leak for anything to come out. Paige's video was much worse, and she stayed on TV. Yeah, Paige's video, though, was not leaked by Paige. That was phone hacked, wasn't it? I believe that was something that either her phone was hacked or she sent it as a private video to someone and they released it, or their phone was hacked. I think what Mandy was doing was she was benefiting, she was profiting, she was making money from it. So I can see the difference. I mean, the Paige situation, she was suicidal after all of that stuff leaked out, and you can totally understand why. WWE needed to be there for Paige for that. That is a crime that Paige suffered, basically. Whereas what Mandy was doing, was different. She was profiting from it. She was putting it out with her consent. That went out without Paige's consent. So they're very, 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 very different things. Very different things. And I think that Mandy has got a decision to make. I really think, if Mandy never put that stuff out, she wouldn't have lost her job. And I would like to think, because the rumors are that they gave her the option to refrain from posting that stuff. I think if they gave her the option, I don't have any complaints. If they said to her, we're not happy with you putting this stuff out, it's outside of your agreement with us, we need you to stop. As long as she was given that ultimatum, it's her choice then. It's her choice. If she wants to carry on doing that stuff, that's fine. You can do that. You're free to do that. But you can't continue working with WWE, and we've made it very clear. This is the ultimatum we've given you. It's this or that. It's one or the other. It is not both. And she, my heart does not bleed for these wrestlers. They get paid very well. So, they get in fame. They're on TV. They're, being paid very well. Like, she wants her cake and to eat it as well. She wants to do this and she wants to do that. Well, you can't. WWE aren't comfortable with it. It's one or the other. As long as she knew that and it was very clear, I don't have a problem with this. As long as she was made aware. If it was a case that out of the blue they said, right, you're fired, and she was like, oh, I didn't know, I'll stop doing that, and they've said, no, it's too late, that feels harsh to me. But word on the street is that's not what's happened. Word on the street is she was given the ultimatum of it's this or it's that, and she's made her decision, so it's her decision. Jake said, it's like White Rabbit stuff. If it wasn't Bray, it would have been our fault for expecting it, says Jake. Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's true. Like, the only thing I would say with the White Rabbit stuff is that it was so heavily Bray themed at the end. At the start, for the first few weeks, there was a few different things in there. You had the Alistair Black lyrics. You had the Karrion Kross TikTok hourglass, right? There was definitely other things in there. It was not just Bray at the start. And we did videos not jumping to conclusions. And we were saying as that was going on, it could be this person, it could be that person. Yes, it could be Bray, but it could be Finn Balor or it could be Karrion Kross. So if you expected it to be Bray at that point and it wasn't, I agree. I don't think that was WWE's fault. But what I will say is that White Rabbit definitely got so heavily into Bray. It was kind of like you phoned that number and it was like, let me in, or whatever they were saying. There was so much stuff that became Bray that by the end of it was just Bray. Like all the other superstars, all the other references, they seemed to be removed. It seemed like there was a nice mix at the start, and then as it got closer, it just really focused in on Bray. And even by the end of it, I was like, it's got to be in it. It's got to be. I think at that point, if you don't deliver Bray, then I think you have upset the fans. I can understand the fans being upset then because you've really trolled them. But there's nothing here that has said Sasha. You know, if they were saying, oh, you know, if Paige said I'm just a worker, but I will be bringing my boss. Do you know what I mean? Like, if she was doing stuff like that, then I would be like, okay, they have to deliver Sasha now. They have to deliver Sasha because now they're making it too obvious that it's the boss and all this kind of stuff. I just had a letter. It doesn't matter. It's a bank statement. Like, things like this, do you know what I mean? Like, if they're going to do that, you need to deliver Sasha. But to my knowledge, there's been nothing. It's just she's having a partner. It's a mystery partner. That's it. She's a partner. So if people want to, it could be as much Toni Storm as it could Thunder Rosa, as it could Sasha Banks. So I think this is where right now, you're right, Jake. If people are going to jump to that conclusion on no evidence, then I'm sorry, but it is on them. It is on them if they're going to jump to those conclusions. PR image with AEW fans is important. Seeing their drop after Brawl out. Teasing that it could possibly be Sasha and it being Thunder might get Thunder booed out the building. How have they teased? I mean, unless I've missed something, but how have they teased that it's Sasha? All they've said, to my knowledge, is it's a mystery person. It could be Thunder Rosa as much as it could be Toni Storm, as much as it could be Sasha, as much as it could be Linda McMahon, right? So I don't see it. I don't get it. If that is people jumping to conclusions, that's on them. That I do not blame AEW for that. I really don't. Because I think, you know, you can't. Everyone wants them to make big deals out of these superstars. Like Thunder Rosa should feel like a big deal, and Toni Storm should feel like a big deal. Well, one of the great ways of doing that is, you know, mystery person. Who's it going to be? Big return. Right? So I can't criticize Toni for making a big deal out of, say, a Thunder Rosa return. She is their champion that never lost the belt. She is their women's champion. She never lost that title. She got injured. They took the belt off her. We needed an interim champion. That interim champion has now become permanent. So she's the champ that never lost. She is a big deal in the AEW world. If they're going to bring her back and do it as a big mystery, you know, surprise, guess who's back? The champ that never lost, you know, and like Thunder's going to be furious and she wants her title back. That to me is perfectly acceptable. I mean, if you're going to do it for someone like Anna Jay, then I'd look at you a bit strange. If you're going to do it for, like, I don't know, Sky Blue, then I'd look at you as a bit weird. But I've got a feeling that this got every chance of being Thunder Rosa, for example, as it does being Sasha Banks. Unless you can tell me that there's been hints and teases and things that have really indicated that this is Sasha, unless you can tell me that, this is just a mystery person. And that mystery person can be anyone. And if the fans have got it into their head that this is Sasha, it really is on them, and it's not on Toni. Not for me, not according to how I'm reading it. I saw Thunder Rosa at Mission Pro. A friend in that promotion said she's still injured. I don't know if that's to throw us off. That was on Saturday, says Arturo. I don't know when this is, to be honest. I don't know when. I don't know when this. I don't think it's tonight. So this is like a mixed tag thing that's coming up. As we said, it could be. I can't remember what happened with Toni Storm. To be honest, it could end up being Toni Storm. There's a few different people that it could end up being. So I am not getting. I don't think it's Sasha. To be honest, I really don't think it's Sasha. But it could be one of a few people. It could be one of a few. It still could be someone that comes in that's a mystery, that's not Sasha. Could be Billie Kay. What do you think about WWE giving Kaylee Ray a tryout? I'm happy as a Kaylee Ray fan, says Ray UK. I think that it's good. I think that she is very WWE. The only thing that concerns me is the fact she was in AEW and then something happened. I don't quite know what that was. And I did hear that she's like 8 months sober. So I don't know if she had some personal demons that she was having to overcome. But there's clearly stuff that's been going on outside the ring now. Look, everyone's got personal demons. Life's hard, right? Life is not easy. So I get that, and I don't hold that against her at all. My concern would be, though, has she passed it? Is she past those personal demons? Because you don't want to invest in someone. If I'm WWE, I don't want to invest in someone that's then going to go missing or have struggles or things along these lines. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Like, you need to be open and honest about where you are and what your struggles have been. And I'm sure this is a conversation WWE will have had, because her as a character, I think, is great. It's totally WWE. It's Bayley-esque, isn't it? She's very Bayley, very like big and huggy, and you could imagine her against Bayley. Evil Bayley against Kaylee Ray. I mean, it'd be, it books itself. She's she works in WWE. Yeah. And she would have worked in AEW, I'm sure. But the problem is, like, where is she? 'Cause I could be wrong, but I feel like she walked out on AEW, and I don't know if there was some drama with another company as well. I seem to recall reading something else about something about her walking out or not attending a show, or maybe even retiring. Did she retire or something? Like, call it quits and retire? I don't know. I feel like there's been a lot going on. So that would be, as you know, WWE, that would be my concern. But if she's past all that, then so be it. Good. I'll be pleased for her. I watched the clip, and all Britt said to Saraya was, find an opponent. There was nothing about mystery in the video. Fans have turned this into a major surprise, says Primo. Bobby Lashley fired news. He's back now, Brandon. So there was a video that went out that's from Adam Pearce, and he has rehired Bobby. Philip said, do you think we get a good show tonight? I think they're going to go all out, definitely. This is maybe the last big show of the year. Although I think SmackDown's going to be big, the final SmackDown of the year. I think that the main event tonight should be very good. I think MJF and Ricky Starks will put on a banger, actually. I do. I think that it'll be a really, really fantastic match. And I thought their segment last week had some highs and lows. I thought that Ricky Starks fired back really well. I thought that it might just have gone on a little bit too much. I think that he could have got in and got out a lot quicker. But no, there was lots to admire. There was lots that I thought was good about that segment. And it really did build up my excitement for this match tonight. So, yeah, I think that we should be in for something quite tasty. This really is, I think, their last big show of 2022. And then, as we said, I think we get a big SmackDown just before New Year's, and that'll be pretty much it for 2022, because I think there'll probably be some taped shows coming up. Certainly the Raw that's going to be on Boxing Day. Is it Boxing Day? I think there's a Raw on Boxing Day that I'm guessing is going to be taped. So I think there will be some tape shows coming up. Let's go down. I'm looking forward to MJF and Starks, even though we know MJF won't lose, said Jilly. I saw Adam Pearce's video on Twitter. He's so sorry for his actions. Bobby is not fired, says Hayden. Kaylee Ray is 14 months sober. That's very good. It's very good. I didn't even know she had her struggles like that. I had no idea. My knowledge of her is very limited, to be honest, because I only know of her from AEW. That was the first time I'd seen her. And then, like, there was that big mystery of, she was one of the big first people to go, wasn't she? Do you remember? She was one of the very first people to leave. And as a result, that was kind of a big story at the time. Like, she left, and we didn't know why. And we didn't know if there was some backstage drama. She didn't like how she was being booked, and then, like, we were never getting any answers as to why. I still don't know why, to be honest, as to why she left. But then, like, as we said, heard some other little bits and bobs, and it seems like she's been having some struggles. So if she's all good, all clear, then brilliant. And it seems like she is. She left AEW and NWA. The Sasha thing is starting to remind me of Bray on his return, where everyone's trying to predict exact moments that she shows up in AEW or New Japan or WWE, says Zach. Days, is it me or does Ricky Stark's pose remind you of Bruce Forsyth? Well, a lot of people said Bruce Forsyth really was he was the Ricky Starks of his day. So, yeah, it does make sense. Monday will be a double taping, says Shy's Garage. Monday 26 is Boxing Day. WWE might be able to pre-records. What benefit is Sasha getting from going to AEW? Surely she knows that trying to maintain that mainstream reach will be harder. So, yeah, I mean, what she could do is she could be a big fish in a small pond, and that might be tempting. You know, like having the women's division undeniably in the palm of your hand, being booked as the woman. You got to remember, she loves being the focus of attention, right? And you're guaranteed to be that in AEW. I don't think she goes there. I don't think she's the mystery person. If she turns out to be Soraya's partner, I will be stunned. I have not fiber in my body think she is going to be Soraya's mystery partner. Hence why I think if you're expecting that, you're on your own, because I ain't thinking that. I'm thinking it's Thunder Rosa or maybe Tony Storm or someone different, right? There's been nothing to indicate it. There's been no word that she's going there. There's been nothing to suggest it. So as of right now, I am not expecting it. So I don't think she would go there. But if she did, what would be the motivation? Well, money. You'd have to think she'd get paid very well. So not only would she get paid plenty of money, but also she would be the focus. She would be the person that division revolved around. She would be as big a star as they've got, to be honest. I mean, to the point where she could be front and center on the video game, you know, and she could really be the face of that company. So I think that would be interesting if they were to pay her a lot of money and say, you could be the woman that could take us to this next level, you know, and you would be the focus. That's something I think she would listen to, but I don't see it, to be honest, because I think that she might want to do music. I think she might want to do acting. Could she come in and do a few shows, though? Sure. I mean, first of all, she's got a contract with New Japan. She's got a contract with New Japan. She is expected to not wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom, but she's expected to come in and then challenge further down the road. And apparently that contract is signed and it's all sorted. So you got to think about Forbidden Door. You know, if she has got a contract with New Japan and her WWE contract is going to expire in a few weeks and she knows that she's going to New Japan, the option to do something with Sasha at Forbidden Door has got to be something that Tony has discussed. I mean, if I'm Tony Khan and I've got connections in New Japan, I'm exploring that now. I want conversations now. If I can get a hold of Sasha, I want to talk to Sasha now. And I want to get her thoughts about, right, how do we do this? How do we make this work? What do you want? Do you want to come see me and we can sit down and talk about it? What do I do? How do I get you to come into the company? I want you as much as possible. Talk to me. Like, I'm having that conversation. What is it? Talk to me. I'm open. I'm free. I'll come to you. You come to me. You can come to my office. I'll come to Boston and meet you. What do you want to do? Do you want full time? Do you want just a few dates? Do you want to do Forbidden Door? What can we make work? If I'm Tony Khan, I'm definitely having those conversations now. But I don't think she goes. I really don't think she goes. I think she's got lots of things that she can do. Why is Sasha, who injured Saraya last at the house show, Sasha, it's perfect swerve ending opportunity. Sasha comes to finish her off, said Eric. She's coming to finish the job. Bum, bum, bum. Adam said WWE are going to tape December 23rd SmackDown after this Friday's show when they said Cena returns on the 30th. They are taping the December 23rd. Okay, that's good. So on Friday, they're doing SmackDown, and then they'll tape the 23rds. That's a little bit of a shame, but I understand it. It's a shame they're not doing that one live, actually. 23rd, I don't think's too bad. I don't think that's too bad. You know, you finish on the 23rd. That's it. Don't worry about it. You can have Christmas Eve off. You can have Christmas Day off. I'm sure they've got Boxing Day as well. Like, it's not bad, is it? So, I don't know. That's I wouldn't be that kind. I wouldn't be that. I'd make them work on the 23rd. But, okay. Well, there we go. It's pre-recorded. Do you think they should have given MJF Starks a bit more time? Maybe. But the problem with AEW is that they just move a million miles an hour, don't they? Like, it's literally, let's do this, let's do that. We've got another special coming up. Let's do this, let's do that. We've got our UK show coming. We've got Revolution. We've got another special. We've got... it's just stuff happening all the time. They just go a million miles an hour all the time. But yeah, it would be nice to let some of these things breathe. Because I think you could build them up and make them feel a bit bigger. This has had next to no build. This had 1 week's build. I promise you, I didn't even know. I watch every week. I had no idea Winter is Coming was this week. I had no idea. Last week, they might have mentioned it. But with everything that's been going on, it's not... I've had no one ask me about Winter is Coming. Who do you think wins at Winter is Coming? There might have been someone saying, are you doing AEW later? But I've had no one mention Winter is Coming. I had no idea it was this week. They do go way too fast. They do go way too fast. I think they should try and slow it down and just let things breathe a little bit more. Make things feel bigger. Rather than just 1 week build, boom, here we are, straight into the match. But it does give us something bigger than just the normal Dynamite, I suppose, to enjoy tonight. So I'm grateful for that. Sasha cuts a big fart on an AEW promo, says Wrestling Fan. I'd be surprised if that happened, to be honest. That's not really... That'd be a new gimmick for her. Corbin said, by that logic, Sasha would be Soraya's partner in order to finish the job. What? Yeah. Because she turns on her at the end of the match. Bum, bum, bum. Kaylee Ray has mental health issues. That's why she left AEW, NWA, and Impact. But I like Smiley Kylie Ray, said Ray UK. From things I've seen, WWE is thinking of firing him. So what do you think of Matt Riddle to AEW, says Tia. Well, I don't know. I mean, are they thinking of firing him? They've sent him to rehab. I've got to think that they're going to see if he can sort himself out and then take it from there. Matt Riddle is, pretty big star. Has been built up pretty big. He has competed for the title, but it's not like he's not Roman, is he? He's not really Seth. He's not someone that's, his current thing is being partnered with Elias. But RK Bro was a big success this year, and he did battle Roman for the title. I think the future is still bright for him if he can get himself sorted out, and hopefully he can. Right, here we go then. Winter is coming. We're at Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Winter is coming. We've got Tony Schiavone, we've got Excalibur, and we've got Taz. Big night of action. No matter who it is, if it's not Sasha, they're going to boo them out the building just because it's not Sasha. I don't think that's true. I don't think AEW fans are going to do that. I don't know that AEW fans are going to boo whoever it is out the building expecting it to be Sasha. I really don't. Winter is here. It's going to be a good show, said David. I've been a fan of the Briscoes for 10 years. What do you think is next for them? What's next for Ring of Honor? That's the question. What's next for Ring of Honor? Because I think they'll be a part of that. Right, here we go. Elite versus Death. Triangle. Here's Kenny and the Bucks. Eric, shout out to you, said, does RK Bro have to RK go? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. The Elites. Here's Kenny and the Bucks making their way down. Don Callis, Nakazawa, Brandon Cutler. Match number 4, 2-1 to Death Triangle. Match number 4 coming up. Omega is in the best shape he's ever been in, said Jeremy. Why didn't Comchi say he's in rehab because of the injury? Well, they don't want to acknowledge his struggles with drugs on the show. So they've said he's going to be out of action for 6 weeks, and their, kayfabe has been attacked by Solo Sikoa. And so now he's going away in storyline to recover from that attack. The truth is he's going away to go to rehab, but I can understand them. Riddle is someone that I think has been pitched a bit at the kids. There's a lot of kids that are into Riddle and bro, and he comes down on a scooter. I can understand them not wanting to, advertise the fact that he's got, some issues with drugs. So it's one thing to have fun with, cannabis and weed and just have a bit of fun with that, But this is pretty heavy stuff, isn't it? This is different. This isn't cannabis. Here's Death Triangle. They don't look stupid for once. And Kenny's got his winning pants on, said Ron. Winning pants. I've got my winning pants on as well right now. What premium live event would you say was the best this year out of Crown Jewel, SummerSlam, Clash at the Castle, or WrestleMania? I would say SummerSlam or WrestleMania Night 1. I thought WrestleMania Night 2 was actually not that great. I wasn't that into Night 2. Night 1 I thought was very good. Clash at the Castle I was a bit disappointed in. There was not really much in the way of surprises. We'd waited 30 years for it. That ending where not only did Drew lose, but, Tyson Fury got in the ring and shook Roman's hand. And then they have a sing-song. The whole thing was so bizarre. It did have Sheamus versus Gunther, which was an absolute banger, though. But, yeah, for me, it's... If you think about how iconic SummerSlam 92 is, and Brett versus the British Bulldog, they couldn't touch that. They just couldn't touch that. SummerSlam was very good, though. I really enjoyed SummerSlam. I did think that was a very good show. So SummerSlam I thought was impressive. Main event, flipping the ring over. It's one of the, if not the most iconic images of the year. Night 1 of WrestleMania was excellent. Crown Jewel, I'm trying to remember Crown Jewel. I mean, that's Logan and Roman, isn't it? I mean, it's a perfectly acceptable main event, but I still can't get over the fact that Logan wrestles for the title after his, third match. But it's perfectly fine main event. Yeah, I wouldn't go with that. I'd go with SummerSlam. I would go with WrestleMania Night 1. Right, we are underway with this then. Winter is coming. Ruby Soho against Ty Melo. WrestleMania Night 1 was one of the top 5 greatest nights in the history of our sport, says Wrestle with Andy. It's mental, wasn't it? Kevin Owens and Stone Cold. Cody returning, taking on Seth. Becky Bianca, one of the best women's matches of the year. Undertaker going into the Hall of Fame. Oh, it was really good. Over the top comes Kenny. Kenny going against the ropes, jumps over the top. Plants pack. I'm guessing if the Elite wins this match, I've got a feeling they'll win the series and the titles at New Year's Smash in 2 weeks, says Henry. Ain't no fun in pain pills. Weed has endless innuendos to play with and doesn't carry the same weight as pills, says Alex. I agree. I mean, it's a bit cheeky to do that with kids watching, but in all fairness, a lot of kids I doubt, know what the flip you're on about when you're doing some of those innuendos for weed. But yeah, this is serious stuff. Right, okay. The Elite going, Revolution is March 5th at San Francisco at Chase Center, I think that said. Over the top goes Nick Jackson. He comes crashing down onto Pac. So he comes crashing down onto Pac. We've got very much in control at the moment the Elite. Sugar Spice, everything. Nice bananas and grape. Shout out to you. Days, I haven't really watched old WWF stuff, but I do find it interesting how they always zoomed in on kids when stuff was happening. Maybe when Taker came out, we don't see it now, really. Yeah. I think WWE really catered for... I think it's catered for kids a lot, you know. WWE. And I think when you're an adult, you'd easily forget that. There's a lot of stuff that's done for, like, youngsters. And it was done for youngsters when I was watching, yeah. But you're right, they would always zoom in on children for Hogan. I remember seeing many times kids in the front row with foam fingers and Hasbro figures. And, you know, it's one of those where they would zoom in on them. And it was... it really got across the family entertainment aspect of it. It was fun for the whole family. You know, his kids are into it. They even had a Saturday morning show, Mania, in America, WWF Mania, which was a fun, like for kids, really Saturday morning show. So yeah, it's always been a big focus. I'd say it's still a big focus now. I really would. They could make these stories a lot more adult, couldn't they? There's a lot more. I mean, don't forget it's PG. They could go TV-14. They could make some of these stories a lot more adult, less, you know, childish, if you will. And I do think that is something that we forget sometimes. It's certainly something I forget. That, you know, it is family entertainment at the end of the day. Certainly WWE. Big shots coming in. Against the ropes goes Matt Jackson. Penta hits him. So at the moment, we're seeing Death Triangle trying to get back into control. Stomp onto the head of Matt Jackson into a German suplex. Kenny comes in. Sling Blade. Kenny goes down. Against the ropes goes Phoenix with a splash. Coach Co said Charles Cretor of Chicago is often credited as the inventor of modern popcorn, thanks to his invention, the mobile popcorn cart in the 1880s. Charles Cretor of Chicago. Thank you. It's not as good as your tittle. The tittle was excellent. Talking of tittles, here's Austin 316. Hello, my little tittle. Hope you're doing well. Loving the background. Wow, winter is coming. I don't know if you've heard, but winter is coming. So that's why we've gone this way. The pre-Attitude crowd does look a bit weird. No wrestling-related t-shirts and signs, said Leapin' Lucha Larry. Right, we've got Matt in there with Ray Phoenix. Choppity chop. Rampage, not at the best time or date, said Adam. WWE brought Saturday morning thing back. We're about 10 years ago and then dropped it within a year, said Zach. Adam says, I never miss a Dynamite. Austin said, I'm good. How about you? I'm doing good. Yeah, we watched the game earlier. So France are through to the World Cup final to play Argentina. We're doing that stream this weekend, of course. In fact, I've just been making the thumbnails for that. So I need to set that up after this stream. So yeah, I'm doing good. That's something that I'm looking forward to. Big weekend this weekend. The last UFC of the year. Sad. And then we've got the World Cup final. Exciting. So yeah, lots to look forward to. But yeah, as Hayden said, only 10 days to go until Christmas. Okay, Death Triangle still in control. 12 minutes into the show. Grabbing Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson is down. We got triple basement drop kicks by Death Triangle. Wyndham is coming. I was watching Rumble 94. The casket match with Taker and Yoko was awesome. It's one of my favorite non-Rumble match moments ever, said WrestleBuzz. Glad you enjoyed it. Philip said, what would you rate wrestling for this year? Probably a 7. I don't think this was an exceptional year. I mean, I suppose, I don't know. I mean, what Bray coming back was big, but that has not really set fire yet, I don't think. White Rabbit was amazing, but what we're doing with Uncle Howdy, I get a lot of people saying to me they're not feeling it and they're not sure. I just think it hasn't quite got started yet. So I'm hoping that, you know, that's going to have some really interesting twists and turns. You see, the thing is, Funhouse was so fun, and there was puppets, and it was colourful, and it was so fun every week that, like, I don't think the Uncle Howdy thing is quite that same level. But I'm not down on it by any means, and I'm still, you know, into it. But I think White Rabbit was so much better. White Rabbit was so good. Bloodline was good with Roman. That's been excellent. But I think Raw's been a real mixed bag this year. I mean, Triple H taking over was good. You know, that was a big thing. But I don't know. I looked, and like there was some people that have come back. But I'm looking for like some real juicy stories, you know. Just a 2. I feel like 7's fair. If you look at like what we scored the shows on average, I reckon most weeks we were about a 7. So I feel like that's probably a very, very fair reflection as to the year. I think it's just a pretty standard year. Honestly, I would say that 2020 was much lower than that. 2020 might be a 5. 2021 might be a 6. And now 2022 might be a 7. Next year might be an 8. Hope it is. Well, I mean, we might be getting The Rock. So that could be monstrous. And the first full year, hopefully, of Triple H. The first full year of Triple H booking. The first Triple H Rumble. The first Triple H WrestleMania. So plenty to look forward to next year. There's 420 in the chat, said Tia. Right, we've got Snapdragon there by Kenny. Kick to the midsection. So no Nick Jackson. He's gone off with an injury. The commentator's just saying that the numbers might be against and might be catching up with Kenny and Matt Jackson. Snapdragon there by Kenny. Crowd are applauding as Phoenix gets back into the ring. Kenny chants breaking out as he walks around. V-trigger time. Against the ropes, but kick to the back there by Penta. Big shot coming back by Kenny. Picks up and dumps Phoenix to the outside. Kenny Omega in control. Goes down to his knee in the center of the ring. Against the ropes. And he gets tripped over by Pac. Pac trips him over. Pac going over. Oh, that's a lovely cutter. Lovely cutter there by Pac. Pac back in the one corner. Charging over. Big boot. I think the mask had slipped down. I'm sure as he ran over then, I don't think he could see there. Big collision by Kenny. Kenny grabbing Pac. Pac lands on his feet. Kenny back up. Spin kick to the midsection. He's looking for a suplex. Oh, brainbuster there by Kenny. Kenny planting Pac. It really looks like that mask has slipped down and like Pac struggling to see. Lol. I think Serene Deeb's being wasted, said Big Time Baxter. Great in the ring, and she's still in her prime. Hypothetically, if Cody and The Rock are the last 2 men in the Rumble and The Rock wins, do you think he'll be booed like Batista? Or is The Rock too loved? I don't think he'd be booed. I think people want Rock versus Roman. So I think the fact that he wins and that now means we're guaranteed to get Rock versus Roman, I think people would be into that. So I don't think he would be booed. I do think, though, there'd be a healthy number of people that would have preferred Cody. I think there'd be a healthy number of people that would prefer Cody. Big splash, but I don't know that they would prefer him to the point where The Rock gets booed. I don't think anyone wanted Batista. That was the problem. Like, if you say to people, do you want Rock versus Roman? I think majority would be like, yeah. But if you said to anyone, do you want Batista to be taking on Randy Orton for the title at WrestleMania? You'd struggle to find people that would say yes in 2014. Flash by Pac, but Kenny moves out the way. Twitter would be mad. Oh, Twitter's always mad, though, Austin. That's what Twitter does. Here is Nick Jackson making his way down to the ring. Nick Jackson wants the tag. He's calling Kenny over to make the tag. I hope he tags him, and I hope Nick Jackson's ankle gives out. That would be fun. Tag is made. Nick Jackson gets in, charges over. Big strike to Penta, strike to Phoenix. He's trying to battle away. Goes for a clothesline. Down goes Phoenix. Kick coming in by Pac. Against the ropes goes Pac. Clothesline by Nick Jackson. Duck underneath. Springboards. Oh, gets caught. Nick Jackson catches him with a cutter. Nick Jackson. Phoenix is up. Phoenix catches the leg. There's the hammer. Cracks him right in the leg, you know. Damn. That's better. That's nice. That was a nice moment. That was cool. For him to be injured. And now, he's got a hold of the leg. Nick Jackson is screaming in pain, and surely he's going to tap. And he does tap. And it's a win for Death Triangle. Death Triangle win. Using that little hammer again. A little hammer. Can we have one of these matches without the hammer, please? They are both great without it, says Blazed. Why the hammer, said Braden. Nick Jackson injury in the middle of a best of 7. That's bad, said Junior. Hammer time. Hammer time. It's normally JBL that wears the hammer pants. I like the fact that he got in with the injury, and I was waiting for something to happen with the leg, but actually I wasn't expecting the hammer to be used on the leg. I actually didn't mind that. I do agree, though. They've done that every flipping match. Phoenix on the outside. He is not happy. He's not happy. Here's Kenny. Here's Kenny. Here's Kenneth. What's the frequency, Kenneth? Pac, just walk away, Pac. You ain't got to listen to what he's got to say. Forget it. Just walk off. I've got a message for you. How about we make the hammer legal? Hammer is going to be legal. All weapons are legal, so... No DQ. So Kenny said, that's good. I like that. That's good. He says, right, you want to use the hammer? That's fine. Let's just make it legal. So next match will be no disqualification. Legal hammer. This is good because if they keep doing trios matches under normal stipulations, it would be boring, said Scott. He said, I wasn't permitted to cut this promo. So he's making out like that promo wasn't actually part of the show. So is he booking the matches now? I wonder if that was true. I wonder if Tony didn't know that promo was going to happen or not. All right, we're backstage with Jeff. Dynamite Diamond Ring and the AEW World Title. What if Starks wins? What if Ricky Starks wins? They're calling this a star-making performance. So MJF promo backstage. He says, I'm batting 1,000. All hits, no misses. Call in the 7th match. It's going to be a ladder match, said David. There should have been different stipulations in the first place, said James. I wish Ricky was going to take the diamond ring at least. I really don't think Rock Roman will be a good match, but the build with The Rock claiming he is the tribal chief could be legendary. Imagine Bloodline siding with The Rock, except for Sami Uso. Are you or aren't you the AEW World Champion? He says that he doesn't care that Ricky Starks had life hard. What I like about that is I didn't know Ricky Starks was from Texas or had spent time in Texas, and he's just let us know in that promo that he did. That, I think, is a message. It's a great way of ensuring the crowd are with Ricky. I was born rich, attractive, and funny, says MJF. Are you going to watch Wrestle Kingdom? There's a lot happening. AEW, WWE Stardom, Noah, possibly Sasha Banks main event brings it down, though, said Notorious Nightmare. I might watch it. I won't stream it. I might have it on in the background. I don't know what I'll be doing, to be honest, on those days. I haven't even looked to see what I'm doing. But I would be interested to see Sasha in that moment. Everyone hates my guts. Everyone wants to see my downfall, said MJF. Has Ric Flair ever spoke about MJF? I'd be really interested to know what Ric Flair thinks. Can you do it, Ricky? That's pressure. This MJF promo is long, said Franks. MJF has got a point. He is already the guy. Oh, there we go. MJF promo. He does go on a little bit, said Lister Jericho. Days, what would you say has been your favorite heel term of all time? It'd probably be Hogan. Can't imagine another heel turn with the impact of Hogan's. I thought Bailey turning heel was amazing. I did enjoy that a lot, actually. But no, I mean, the greatest has got to be Hulk Hogan turning heel. Ric Flair said he prefers you over MJF days.
Woo!
MJF cheats with the diamond ring tonight, said Adam. I do like MJF, but he is poor performer to me, Dave, said David. He does go on a little bit. We are at commercial break. Yes, winter is coming. Commercial break. So one match, one promo. That's what we've had in the first quarter of this show. It's been all right. I actually didn't mind the ending of that match. I've said before, I've said it to him blue in the face. Those Lucha Bros, Young Bucks matches, they're not for me. They're not the matches I enjoy personally. So I'm always just going to have like a passing interest in them. But I thought the ending was pretty good. So I didn't mind the hammer. I like the fact there was an injury. There was a bit of storytelling, a bit of psychology. Totally understand that would hurt. Totally understand he had to tap out. Totally understand that they keep cheating. Totally understand why Kenny now wants to make the match a no DQ match. There's some good stuff. Yeah, some good stuff. I didn't mind that. MJF promo, it's fine. It wasn't a classic. There was not really like killer lines in there, but did what it needed to do to just build up the main event. So I think it's very serviceable tonight. There's some nothing bad here so far. And we're a quarter of a way through the show. The only problem is going to be between now and the main event, what have we got? I mean, we've got Ruby Soho against Melo. Who's Jericho going to be facing? Who's House of Black going to be facing? How can they like keep this momentum going? I'd say solid start so far. How do we keep that momentum going until what is sure to be a fantastic main event? What has Tony Khan got up his sleeve? Seth turning on the Shield might be my favorite heel turn, said Austin. That was excellent as well. Roderick said, MJF promos are better than yours, and you know it. David said, winter is here. Too cold outside. Very cold. Winter is here. Yeah, I think it was frost here today. Borderline snowing, so it's been very cold here in the UK as well. I'm live at Winter is Coming with my cousin Ricky Stark, said Zach DJ Bayside High. And someone else is here, and that's going to break the internet, says Zach. Zach with some of those scoops, some of that insider knowledge. It's Wyndham. I bet it's Wyndham. Here's the Acclaimed. House of Black versus The Factory is my guess, said James. WWE should have fired Mandy's pool pillows. She ain't got many, mate. I think they already got fired. The Acclaimed. Satnam Singh, the rap's been interrupted. Other teams get booed like Elon Musk was one of the lines I caught. We're bringing the belts back like Brittany Grinder. That's the basketball woman, isn't it? I think. Did she bring back some belts? Into, this is a brutal beatdown. Jay Lethal. Double J. Nam Singh. Caster in the ring. He gets walloped by Jay Lethal. Kicks coming in by Jay Lethal. Here's Double J. What's he call himself? The Highwayman or something. He wallops Caster with the guitar. The guitar is smashed over the head of Caster. Boos. Boos are ringing out. Yo. Yo, Acclaimed. F you, Chance. Have we got your attention now? Why don't you scissor this, slapnuts? Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are going to be challengers for the Acclaimed. I don't mind this. Because I actually really like Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett when they worked Ric Flair's last match. I actually thought they did really well together. So yeah, I don't mind these two. Have they got a name? What are they called? Is it just Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett? Is that it? Isn't it funny? Like Jeff Jarrett, Double J, Billy Gunn was part of the Smoking Gun. Like they were together like during the new generation of WWE. That's so fun. We were talking about the new generation earlier, like 95. Double J, Smoking Guns. They would have been around at that time. Here is Cesaro. He is the Ring of Honor champion. Jericho tapped out to the giant swing. He tapped out to the swing. The giant swing is barbaric. Jericho tapped out to the swing, lol. Sasha fans are annoying, said Tommy. I really like Double J's music. They're not going to dethrone the Acclaimed. Nah, they won't dethrone the Acclaimed. They shouldn't, but I don't mind them as a team. I don't mind them as like a team that the Acclaimed can get a win over. Garcia lost his title. Jericho has told Garcia to shadow his elder, Sammy Garcia. So Sammy Garcia is going to mentor Garcia. I don't think Garcia is very pleased about that, to be honest. Shadow your elder. Jericho was swung about 32 times, said Erase Mind. Hager screams that he likes this hat. The embassy. Time for the embassy. Here is Brian Cage. The Machine. I think he's taking on Jungle Boy, isn't he? Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy. Jake and his hat. I like New Generation, lots of youngster. Man Mountain Rock and Duke the Dumpster Droz, he said. Funky Fresh, yeah. It's fun, isn't it? I should go back and watch some of those shows. I must admit, like, whenever I think of New Generation, I just think Diesel. And that, like, Diesel was cool when he was with Shawn, but man, some of the Diesel as champ was not great. It really wasn't great. There was some fun stuff that went on in New Generation, though. My life's dream is to one day be an airport leg humping dog. When I detect sexy, I will tackle and hump their legs, says William. I hope your dream comes true, William. I really do. I really do. If you work hard towards that dream, I'm sure it will one day. Sure it will. Jungle Boy is here, said Courtney. I hate the booking because Jungle Boy could never realistically defeat Brian Cage in a fight, said Lance. The show feels it's fallen completely off the rails. The flow is weird, said Big Time Baxter. I'm still waiting for Cage to do a 360 spinning pile driver, says Ron. James said it was a stupid ending. You can tell that Tony Khan now owns Ring of Honor. Diesel power. Yeah, I always think of that. It's a bit off-putting, but as a kid, I just loved it all. On the shoulders. And scissors over in the corner goes Brian Cage. Down on the ground. Nice kick by Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy survived last week. Krista, shout out to you. Hope you were well. I like it rough, says William. I can't believe Big Cass's big deal just ended. What, is Morrissey gone? Have I missed that? I waited till the Bucks were off to join and watch, said Jono. I can't take their spot festival. It wasn't as... Well, it was, I suppose. It wasn't as bad because one of them got injured and sat out most of the match. I'd say it wasn't as bad. Over in the corner goes Jungle Boy. Aubrey Edwards, the referee for this one. High kick coming in there by Brian Cage. Brian Cage going up, grabbing the hair of Jungle Boy. Looking for a suplex. Big suplex. They've booked Moxley on Rampage twice. I feel like they're desperately trying to get interest on that show. Oh, they are. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are, yeah. Here's Jungle Boy being brought up, picked up by Brian Cage. He's doing curls with Jungle Boy. Chucks Jungle Boy over his head. Picture in picture. Brian Cage posing away. Days, getting a new In Your House video from Smiths during the new generation was the best thing ever. WH Smiths. Oh, so good. That's where I used to get all my Hasbros from, you know. WH Smiths. We never had a Toys R Us round by us. I mean, there wasn't one in Stourbridge, and then the closest shopping centre was Merry Hill in Dudley, and that never had one. It was Merry Hill is huge, but it never had a Toys R Us. So I think there was a toy shop there, though, but I don't remember wrestling figures there. But I do remember them being in WH Smith's in Stourbridge. So I certainly remember going and looking at what they had. They never had loads, though. They never had loads. It was amazing, though, that you could just literally walk 10 minutes up the road, go to your local town, and there was figures of wrestlers on the shelves. Like, that was mind-blowing. Against the ropes goes Jungle Boy. Gets picked up round the houses, planted down by Brian Cage. Surely Brian Cage is taking steroids, or is that natural? I really don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, there are guys that can get to that size naturally, so I would lean towards natural, but I've got to think there's some sort of wellness check. Chop coming in. Knee strike coming back. There's a new Toys R Us that's opening in my basement, said Erasure Mind. There are Toys R Us's that are reopening. I don't know if any have hit the UK yet, but I know that they are opening again. Any chance, did you go to One Night Only in 97? I didn't, Greg. No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I did want to, but I didn't. I mean, I went to a few house shows in the mid to late 90s, but I didn't get a chance to go to like any of those shows. Big clubbing blows coming in here by Brian Cage. Do you think Mandy Rose should have been suspended as opposed to being fired? And do you think there's double standards with stars like Riddle failing drugs tests but staying in the company? No. I don't, because I think if you've got a drug addiction or a problem with drugs, then I think that you need help. And, you know, seemingly he's accepted that help and he's going to go to rehab. So WWE are helping him with that. He's going to go to rehab, you know. It's not just a case of, right, you do drugs, that's it, we're firing you. They, you know, want the best for him as well. And I think that's really good. I mean, it should be applauded that they're trying to help Riddle. I think that's a really positive thing. So them trying to help Riddle, and more importantly, Riddle accepting that help. I think if he had turned the help down and said he wouldn't do rehab, then he would have been fired. He would have been suspended. Well, fired probably. Like you either get off the drugs, otherwise we can't use you. But he's accepted that help, so that's really good. The thing with Mandy is that she's putting up content that WWE aren't comfortable with, and the rumors are they've turned around and said, "Will you stop doing that?" And she said no. She said no. She apparently had the choice as to whether to carry on doing that or stop doing it, and she wants to keep doing it. So it feels very different to me than what is happening with Riddle. You know, Riddle's got a problem with drugs. He's accepted the help. He's now going to go away to rehab and hopefully turn his life around. Mandy Rose is putting up content that WWE aren't comfortable with. They've seemingly asked her to stop. She doesn't want to or refuse to. And if that is true, there is a big if because I'm not there. I don't know the conversations. But if that is true, I can understand WWE saying, well, there's nothing we can do. We're not comfortable with this and we don't want to, you know, we're going to have to terminate your contracts. Like, I do not blame WWE at all for doing that. I don't blame them for doing that. So I think they're to be applauded for helping Riddle. And they've given Mandy the ultimatum. As long as they have given her the ultimatum, as long as that's what it was, if she just got fired completely out the blue and didn't even get the option to remain within WWE, then I'd say that's different. But word on the street is that apparently she was given the option and she didn't take it. So, clothesline, Jungle Boy gets turned inside out. The same company that showed us Mae Young's knockers on a pay-per-view fired Mandy for showing hers, said Funky Fresh. It's a completely different time, though, isn't it? It's a completely different time. 1, 2, shoulder up. Shoulder up by Brian Cage. Snare trap being applied. Snare trap and Aubrey has been distracted. Brian Cage tapped then, but Aubrey wasn't watching. Why is she physically touching wrestlers? She just physically touched Jungle Boy there to try and stop him from attacking that manager. 1, 2, 3. Jungle Boy still wins. Jungle Boy gets the win over Brian Cage. Well, there we go. Jungle Boy wins. Jungle Boy wins, said Legend Killer. Brock is the GOAT. Do you remember Jacqueline had a wardrobe malfunction? Yes. WWE controls all the media from the superstars. Mandy stepped outside of that. WWE, in effect, cancelled it. She can go where she wants, but does not benefit from the payout clause, I am told, says William. I beat Luchasaurus. I beat Brian Cage, said Jungle Boy. Big who? Big Bill. Who did he say? Big Bill. Is Stokely Hathaway? Who's Big Bill? Is that Will Hobbs? Is that Will Hobbs? Will Hobbs could be Bill, couldn't it? Jack Perry. Lee Moriarty has made his way down. Oh, is that Big Bill? That's Big Bill. Morrissey's Big Bill. Jesus! When did he change his name? Hasn't he always been Morrissey? He's got a new name now. Oh, well, I totally didn't get that memo. In my mind, I'm sat here going, who's Big Bill? Big Bill's, I thought it was Goldberg. Yeah. Big Bill. Right, well, turns out Morrissey's got, he's calling out Goldberg as a bold move, said Wrestle with Andy. I'm sat here going, is it Willie Hobbs? Because I think William can be shortened to Bill. Are they call Willie Powerhouse Hobbs? Are they calling him Big Bill now? And then out comes Morrissey, and then they started calling him Big Bill. I'm like, oh. Lights have gone out. Is this Sting? Hook? Wow, people are going crazy for Hook. Is this still Hook? Or is this Small H? Who's this? Hook making his way down. Why are three grown men jumping out the ring for when Hook gets in? Come on. Big Bill jumps out the ring when moody teenager gets in. Three dudes just jumped out the ring when Hook got in the ring. Hook extends his hand out to little Luke. L-I-L Luke. Lil Luke. Yeah, it's all Big Bill. Morrissey just went, ooh. Yeah, but you did just poop yourself and jump out the ring. It's all well and good being that far up the entrance ramp going, oh, you're scary. Right, here's Moxley, Claudio. Wheeler's still got a Blackpool Combat Club shirt on. Okay, so what is this? Big Bill's not afraid of anything except for Hook. $2023. You think you're good? We know we're better. If you want to come get some, you know where to find us. Fight like you're already dead. Claudio is a badass, said Lance. Have you ever seen the Combat Club in one ring together? I haven't, said Paul. They need a new name, don't they? Now Regal's gone, they need a new name. Hangman Page, you know where to find me. Still to come tonight. Main event. Starks against MJF. Coming up next. House of Black. Who are they facing, guys? Who are they facing? Who are the House of Black facing? House of Black. Where's Bryan Danielson? Don't know. Having a week off. Claudio needs to give Mox some advice about that hairline, said Funky Fresh. I would make Moxley the North Atlantic champ, make their second title really pop. Honor Combat Club, said James. Keep BBC, but change the Blackpool part. The Baltimore Combat Club. The Combat Club, just remove Blackpool. I don't mind these. House of Black versus Toxic Attraction. Oh! Love it, Blazed. Love it. That makes sense. I think Mandy might have a 90-day non-compete or something, but maybe she could wear a mask. Perhaps she could be Randy Mose. Just switch the letters around. Randy Mose. Who is this masked blonde woman? Wearing next to nothing. Randy Mose. Wow. Big Bill is now using the Bill theme song for his walkout music. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-da-na-da-na-na-na-na-na. Wow, 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 wow. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bow, wow, 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 wow. I want a match with Julia Hart, said Jim Gore. What? Get that arranged for Christmas, buds. I'm loving Julia's look since she joined the House of Black, said Wrestling Fluency Podcast. Amanda Tulip said, Blazed. Mandy Melons. Ooh. Amanda Thorne. The 1 minute wrestler, House Black versus local competitors. Randy works considering the content. Yeah, that's true. Mandy Violet. I don't know what she'll go by, actually. I don't know what she'll... I do like that. Mandy Violet. Mandy Daffodil. Thank you. Mandy will release a porn before 2023. Mark my words. A porn. Will that be the title? It'll just be called A Porn. Mandy Rose stars in a porn. House of Black versus Outhouse of Brown. Mandy Rose was posting photos of Daisy's beanie, and WWE was having none of it. Daisy's beanie is iconic and not needed on other sites. WTF is Power Slap, said Adam. Need to ask Dana. I forgot it was Wednesday. I've only just got here. What have I missed? Dude, you've missed so much. Sasha Banks has come out. She came out at the start of the show. Soraya has announced her mystery partner. So we've had that. Then we got a banging match between Death Triangle and the Elite. The Elite were victorious thanks to some New Japan people that helped out. That was big. It's been non-stop, actually. Loads of stuff's gone down. Here is the House of Black. Days is such a troll. Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction. Yeah, them being on the show tonight was a real surprise. Here is Malachi as Julia Hart, Buddy Matthews, Brody King. House of Black with Julia Hart. First match since facing Sting. This is their first match since September. I've seen very bizarre entrances in my day, and this ranks right up there, says Tony. Lights out. Here's Malachi. Taz said, I think they've regrouped these four people and it has worked. Now that everyone knows she is OnlyFans, her subs will go pretty high, said Jono. House of Black versus Asuka's Mist. House of Black now using the Fiend's red light. Yowie wowie. Wyndham is here. There's Julia. Definitely a little wacky, says Taz. It's not very nice, is it? It's against the Factory. What happens to Toxic Attraction now? Oh, she just spat in someone's face. Ah, what she think she is? Ask her. Ah, Julia Hart just went. Was that a black mist? There wasn't much spray to it. Who got spat in the face? Was it black mist? I didn't see a black mist. Malachi's back in the corner. These lot are being crossbody by Brody King. Who got misted? She just went like this. QT Marshall. What are they chanting? House of Black. Kick by Malachi. QT is down. 1, 2, 3. Well, I appreciate them not wasting my time. That's that. That's the thing that happened, and it's over. Factory, aka Jobbers. She spits in the face of people who are not cool. Well, there we go. What happens to Toxic Attraction now? Broken up. And buried. They're jobbers now, mate. Jobbers. Right, here is Hikaru Shida. Hour into the show. Shida, I just want to say congrats. What an honor it is for you to wrestle me for this belt. I will teach you the real Japanese Joshi style. I will take your AEW women's title. Here is Renee, Britt, Reba. Let's act like Shida beating Jamie is a thing. It's not a thing. It'll never be a thing. Sky Blue. You're good at talking, but let's see if you can wrestle. Sky Blue said, I'm not doing anything Friday. I'm pretty sure you're not either, so come and prove it on Rampage. Okay, Sky Blue versus Britt. Thanks, Renee. Thanks, mate. Cheers, buds. Hope you're well. Right, coming up next, we've got Jazz. Jericho Appreciation Society. Toxic Fractions. Britt Baker will beat that jobber. Okay, here is Jericho. AEW Winter is coming. Kim said, who is she? Just a youngster. A kid. Just a mere child. Mox versus Sammy. Britt versus Blue. Friday is looking good, says Ron. Here comes the sing-along, said Courtney. Serge said, Booker of the Year. Lol. Chris Jericho, the Oko. Oko. The Oko. The Oko, oh no. What the hell is a Sky Blue? DuckTales. Toxic Infractions. Toxic Erections. I mean, I think they'd get somewhere if that was their name. Hawkins Jr. said, I love the fact that AEW puts 20-minute time limit on the match. Now we know that they are planning boring us so far. That they plan on boring us so far. Didn't we have a variation of Sky versus Britt a little while ago? Literally no one knows. Literally no one for certain can say for sure if we've ever seen Britt versus Sky Blue. Not a clue. Even you? That's the Occo Chris Jericho. It's Chris Jericho. Oh, Chris Jericho versus Chris. This is amazing. This is like Undertaker versus Undertaker. That is amazing. They just showed Jericho's opponent, and the thing on screen said Chris Jericho. Wow. How's he fighting himself? How are they doing this? That is mind-blowing. How are they doing this? Jericho versus Jericho. They do say that the toughest, our biggest critics, our hardest battles can be against ourselves. That is amazing. That is amazing. It's good, isn't it? That is good. He's so happy about it as well. So happy. God bless him. I can't stand Jericho, but I do like Jericho, said J14. Sonny, hello. Hope you are well. Joining us for this massive match. Chris Jericho versus Chris Jericho. Jericho. Big chop coming in by Jericho to Jericho. Jericho against the ropes. Jericho goes against the ropes. Oh, Jericho goes down. Jericho in the ring with his hand in the air. Against the ropes, over the top of Jericho. Jericho over the top. Nice. Oh, big chop by Jericho. Jericho being driven back. Jericho goes back against the ropes again. Duck underneath. Jericho. Round the houses. That was good by Jericho. Come on, Jericho. Jericho down. Looking for a lovely springboard, leg drop there by Jericho. And Jericho kicks out. Oh, big clothesline by Jericho. Jericho back in control as he grabs Jericho. Picks him up. He's got Jericho up on his shoulders. Jericho drives him down. Let's go, Jobber. I don't think they saw the graphic. They don't know his name. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Jericho. Crowd going crazy. Crowd are really behind Jericho here. Crowd going crazy. Look at the face of Jericho. He can't believe that Jericho just kicked out of that. And the crowd are going banana. Crowd going absolutely mental. Look, Jericho is in shock. This is good, man. You feel like you're really watching something here. Crowd are alive here. The crowd have decided they're having fun with this. Jericho kicked out. Jobbico said erase your minds. Jobbico against the ropes. Jericho unloading. Jobbico getting punched in the head repeatedly. This is where Jericho needs to call like an audible to this kid and say, like, kick out again. The kid's got to kick out again. There's blood coming down the forearm here of Jericho. Jobbico is down. I'm loving that, Erase Your Mind. I'm totally with Jobberco. Jobberco gets chucked out of the ring. You tapped out chants by the crowds as Jericho goes over to Jobberco. You tapped out. You tapped out. Jericho on the outside hurls Jobberco into the ring steps. Jericho taking his time. Sticks his finger up to the crowd. Jobberco is down. Gotta tell the kid to kick out again. He's got to. Listen, I'm going to pin you. Kick out one more time, yeah? Jobber. I'm seeing double. I'm seeing 4 Jerichos. Picks him up. Back body drop. Jobberco is down. Jericho is taking his time. What? Kick out. The Jobber kicks out, but it wasn't really much of a pin. Days, it's like Kane versus Imposter Kane. Adam said the crowd is great. Who do you think Soraya's mystery opponent is? Do you mean partner? I'm leaning with Thunder Rosa. Shot coming in by Jericho to Jobberco. Jobberco is down. Over against the ropes. Knee to the back of the head. Jericho truly is the king of reinventing himself. It's Jericho versus Jobberco. Jobberco getting choked on the ropes here by Jericho. Shots coming into the back. What are they chanting? I think that, oh, come on, the job. Something like that. Against the ropes goes Jericho. Knee to the back of the head. Jobberco goes down. Crowd still very much behind Jobberco. They're loud. I think it's, oh, let's go the jobber. Is that what they're saying? Big strikes coming in. If the jobber wins, this show will be 10 out of 10, said Virus. That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. Big chop coming in. He is having a bad week. Jericho hurls the kid over to the corner. Jericho comes over. The kid kicks Jericho in the face. The kid's coming back. The kid's coming back. Big chops. Ah, poke to the eye. Poke to the eye. Forearm smash there by Jericho. Boos for Jericho. Jobberco was really getting back into this. Jericho listening to the crowds. Against the ropes goes Jobberco. Jobberco. Oh! Forearm. Jericho down. Clothesline. Jericho down again. Look underneath. Net breaker by Jobberco. The jobber with a net breaker. The jobber's going over to the corner. Crowd are going mental for him. Oh, knees up by Jericho. He got sucked into the moment. Jericho's ready with the Judas. He's ready with the Judas. Duck underneath by the kid. Roll up. 1, 2. Oh, just a 2. Duck underneath springboards. Oh, big kick to the head. Yeah, I really want the kid to do it, you know. I really want the kid to do it. Big clothesline. Jericho to the outside. Brilliant. Crowd are totally making this. Oh, wow. Lovely work by Jobberco. Lovely work. In the ring goes Jericho. Jobberco selling. Holy shit chance. It's like the Lightning Kid all over again. Oh, gets caught. Big boos by the crowd. Jericho trying to turn the kid over. Inside work package 2. Oh. Nice drop kick there by Jericho. Kip up by Jericho. Great crowds. Against the ropes. Round the houses. Ooh. Jericho's going to win. Lovely. He lands on him. 1, 2, 3. He does win. He does win. Jericho wins. Jericho wins. What? Jericho wins. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. I think his name's Action Andretti. Oh, that's so good. Oh, hail Jericho! Wow. Not in their wildest dreams could they have expected that. That's great. That's so good. That's so good. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Crowd made that. Match was super fun. You deserve it. You deserve it. Now hearing from so much fun. That was great. Jericho wins. Merry Christmas from Jericho. What a present, said Ron. 10 out of 10. That was awesome, said Lance. Wow. I can't believe Jericho beat Jericho, said Bananas and Grapes. Jericho versus MJF. Next pay-per-view. Bucket, said Doppelganger. I wasn't expecting Jericho to win on this day, December 14th, said Hayden. Action Andretti is from Maryland Championship. Crowd was hot. Kudos to Jericho for putting him over, said Blazed. It's great, isn't it? Crowd made that match. It was so much better. I completely agree. Completely agree. Christmas came early for Jericho, said David. Jericho wins? What? Amazing. That was really fun. That's one of the most fun things I've seen in quite a long time, you know. It was really, really enjoyable. I was proper into that. I really wanted him to do it. Throughout that whole match, I was like, oh, they're still going to have Jericho just get it, you know. It'll be one of those where the kid looks good in defeat. I really wanted him to do it, and then he did it, and it was amazing. So good. Winter is Jericho, said Gary. Jeremy said, this is the hottest crowd in a long time. That was the power of the crowd, said Deuce. I completely agree. The crowd really do make a difference. They really, really do make a difference. So right now we got Starks just cutting a promo backstage. We'll be going to this main event very soon. Lance said, great stream. Jericho, new Jericho Appreciation Society member. I don't think so. Only because he's the ultimate babyface, isn't he? He's the ultimate underdog. He's the kid that shouldn't have done it, that did it. So I sort of feel like you wouldn't want to make him a heel and have him join Jericho now. Keep him as the plucky underdog. They should definitely sign him, though. They should definitely use him for other stuff. They've got something there. It's Lightning Kid, in it. Starks and Theory have got similar promo deliveries, says Mitchell. Mitchell, I hope you enjoyed that. Brianna Ray is WWE Kaylee Ray. She defeated Dana Brooke on main event this week. Joel said AEW on top right now. Frank said AEW crowds are great. Shaquem said do a video. Do a video on Jericho. Aubrey Edwards says countdown to the new millennium. Jericho in 3, 2, 1. Who have you got in the main event? If Ricky does not win, then who? Be MJF, wouldn't it? It's only Ricky versus MJF. So if Ricky doesn't win, then it'll be MJF. Liz Jericho said, I think Jericho is taking a break soon. Braden said, this show is great, 10 out of 10. Kieran said, can Tony give the jobber a contract? Yeah, I'm sure he will. Eric said, Jack wants an action Andretti figure now. Yeah, they should get signed. Kid should be signed. And they should, like, plucky underdog who, tries to do it again. Next time, I think you have him just fall short. I think next time you have him take on someone else, crowd will be behind him, have him look good, put him in there against a heel, someone that the crowd definitely don't want to see win. And maybe just have him fall short. And then maybe you could have someone like take him under his wing and maybe put him in a tag team for a little bit. That would be good. Put him in a tag team for a little bit. We just witnessed the 2022 1-2-3 Kid beating Razor Ramon. Jericho to Royal Rumble confirmed, says Meave. Jobberco is undefeated. Undefeated. Amazing. Great scenes. That's the kind of moment that winter is coming needed, to be honest. Lil Frap said, did you know Mandy has been released? Yes. I did a video on it earlier. Reminds me of Hogan and Billy Kidman, says Ron. Jobco is awesome. I meant, who will take the belt off MJF? I want Wardlow. Wardlow's a good shout. I feel like we're probably a bit of a way off that, though. I don't think it's going to be for a good few months at least. I mean, Revolution at least. But we might go much, much further than that, to be honest. Oh, this is that. I haven't seen this, but I've heard amazing stuff about it. Briscoes against FTR. You want to take a shot away from us? Final battle. The Ass Boys. Jobberco versus Jade. Someone's O has got to go. Rumor has it Jericho was caught with his OnlyFans, and so he had to lose. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Who's going to win the main event? Obviously, it'll be MJF. He will win up until he leaves for WWE, said John. Oh, here's Jericho. Look, going banana. He's going banana. He just hit a traffic cone with a chair. That's how angry he is. They're going absolutely mental. Goes into his locker room screaming and shouting. Where's Jobberco, though? That's what I want to see. Don't care about Jericho. Why are they showing us losers? Jobberco should be backstage with Renee. That would have been great. Imagine if we'd have gone straight to Renee backstage just as Jobberco went into Gorilla. There's MJF getting a massage. I've never seen a set more stages for a tantrum in all my life. Jericho is angry. Coach Co said kangaroos use their tails for balance whilst hopping. So if you elevate their tail, they will have no balance and they will fall over. Ty Melo. Ty Melo. Ty Melo coming out. Ty Midlow. Versus Ruby Soho. I'm not going to disrespect Ruby, so I like Ruby. I like Ruby. Don't like Ty Midlow. That was such a tame tantrum. Clearly didn't want to break anything in case Tony told him off, said undercover manager. Cone of silence. A cone of silence. Very good. Why don't you do Reddit videos? Mainly because I've never been on Reddit. John said, cheers, Days. What do you think? MJF wins until he leaves, or do you think he stays? I think he stays. I think that all this talk about him going is to make him seem like he's in more demand than what he is, to be honest. You know, if you're MJF and you tell everyone that WWE are going to be interested in you, whether they are or if they aren't, it's only going to make you seem like you're more in demand and seem like a bigger star than what you are. So, I as far as you know, there is no bidding war. I'm sure WWE would be interested in him, but he needs WWE more than WWE need him. And I'm sure they would be interested, but yeah, I don't buy this 2024 thing. I don't buy it at all. So I think that he is going to be champ in 2023, but I think he will lose it in 2023. I don't think he'll be champ by the end of the year, or if he is, it'll be his second reign. I think the guy that defeats MJF for the title is going to be Darby Allin at All Out next year, said Kieran. 1 Minute Wrestler, shout out to you. Justin said if Sasha goes to AEW, she's going to have beef with Sammy. He said some disrespectful poop. Ruby Soho is here. Briscoes against Lucha Bros. Sign me up, said Adam. I think MJF will stay with AEW, said Austin. William says boobies. Right, we are underway with Ruby and Melo. Melo in the ring. Sonny says boobies as well. Do you like TNA? I don't watch it. Bud. I've never watched it. Well, that's a lie. I've seen a couple of shows. We did a couple of watch-alongs. It was all right. Round the back goes Ruby. And she plants Ty down. Another suplex there. Action Andretti's Twitter account following is increasing by the minute, said Meave. Oh, a win over Jericho on TV that's shown around the world. That's going to boost your social medias. Great opinion. That's really interesting, said John. I think MJF is already signed to a longer contract, said Jeremy. Brock versus MJF, said G-Man. Right, Ty goes down, goes out the ring. Ty's had enough. Just let her go. Ruby, you'll win the match by count out, mate. Let her go. Ty's like, nah, forget this. Forget it. Let her go. Oh, Ruby. Just let her go, Rubes. Rubes, get the dub, mate. Ruby grabs a hold of Ty's hair. Ty has reversed it. Now she DDTs Ruby into the ramp. You should have let go, Ruby. It's your own fault, that is, mate. You're an idiot. Erased Mind said, show the boobies. No. They'll be let go from NXT if they do that. If they get their boobies out now, they'll be fired by WWE. Right, here we go. Ruby is being taken back over to the ring. Why did she change her name from Ty Conti to Ty Melo? I don't know. I mean, she changed it when she got married to Sammy, didn't she? Was she married before? Maybe like her ex-husband was Conti, and now she's gone back to maybe her maiden name or something. Could it be something like that? Days loves TNA because of Rob Van Dam's girlfriend, says AEW fan. She got divorced before marrying Sammy, said Davids. She was never really Conti. Who else wants Jobbico to be in the Rumble? The only problem with that is there'd be a lot of WWE fans that would have no idea as to who it is. These shows have been getting about 800,000. views. So there'd be plenty of people that won't know who Jericho is. Ty is shouting at the fans. Ruby is over in the corner. She's getting out the ring. She's out going to have a word with someone. There's a sign. My Ruby. There's a sign that says My Ruby, and Ty rips it up. Taz is like, should we be honest? It's not the most detailed of signs. If you're going to bring a sign, put some effort in. Tony was like, does it really matter? And Taz was like, it does to me. It's a great point. It's a great point. There was no color there. It was literally, it says My Ruby. There was a couple of hearts on it. It's a really good point by Taz. It's a real lack of effort. My dream match is CM Punk against Jericho, said Kieran. Gary said if Jericho was on WWE, the ratings would go through the roof. EJ said Action Andretti is all elite. This is not a drill. Has he signed him? I mean, he should. He should sign him. Ruby Soho unloading on Ty at the moment. Ruby. Let's have a look at AEW. Let's get this confirmed. Yep. Congratulations. It's official. Action Andretti is all elite. Thank you, everyone, for watching Winter is Coming. There we go. Action Andretti is all elite. God, he signed that quick, didn't he? He didn't even have time to read the contract, did he? He must have gone back through the curtain, and it must have been a case that Tony just went, sign this. Sign this. Don't read it. Sign it. I've got a tweet I need to put out. Sign this now. Has the referee done that? Why do the referees touch the wrestlers? If he counts and they don't stop doing it, DQ. There's no need to physically remove them and touch them and manhandle them. Honestly, if he can touch the wrestlers should smack the taste out of his mouth. Carl Anderson remained never openweight champion and will wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom, said Tommy. It's believed MJF did sign an extension. Tony and MJF did it in secret. Kick there by Ty. 1, 2. Kick out by Ruby. I wish Tony Khan stood for Tittles Kong. I do as well, actually. Imagine if the owner of AEW's real name was Tittles Kong. That'd be so good. Big chops coming in. CM Punk messages Bailey and Sasha Instagram live stream, said Meave. Hayden said Jericho is officially all elite wrestling. Chop coming in by Ty. Ruby could have avoided all of this by just letting Ty walk away. Like the quitter she is. Ty, nice judo throw. She's trying to drive Ruby down, and she does. 1, 2, shoulder up. I'm rooting for Solo Sikoa, said Smurfy Tunes. I don't know what match you're watching, buddy. Ty KO, no joy. Ruby with a knee strike. Ty goes down to one knee. Ruby plants her down. 1, 2, 3. Ruby wins. Ruby wins. Ooh, Ruby wins. Well done to Rubes. Oh, here's Anna J. Now things are going to get serious. Anna Jay with a big blow to Ruby. Anna Jay goes over, grabs the hair of Ruby. Anna picks up Ruby, plants her down. But there goes the nose again. Ruby holding on to her nose again. Thought someone was going to come to the rescue there of Ruby, but no one did. Right. Here is Alex Marvez. Yeah, backstage there is Hangman. The finisher was like a Ruby Abigail. That was a terrible finisher, said Deuce. I don't like Anna's granny panties. Was the guy sticking his tongue out in the crowd? I didn't see. It was Solo Sikoa, as in Ruby Soho, said Smurfy. G-Man Fig said, do you want to see Brock and The Rock at WrestleMania? No, thank you. Tommy said, Liv Morgan is the best one to come out of Riot Squads. So we're just hearing from Hangman at the moment. For an hour, I didn't know my son's name. No one cares, said Surge. Very powerful. Very powerful from Hangman there, talking about how he saw a picture of his son. Didn't know his son's name. And then I look up and Surge is like, no one cares. TJB said, what a cheap story. Here is Danhausen, best friends, Dustin. I'm with best friends and Spooky Boy. Hands in, boys. Okay, 8-person tag match. Butcher, Blade, Trent Seven. Oh. So is he like properly signed, Trent Seven? Trent Seven's going to be in action. Butcher, Blade, Trent Seven, and Kip Sabian taking on best friend, but I didn't even get chance to look at a picture of Trent Seven to see what he looks like now. Just gone. Just gone. That's it. Gone. This is happening and now it's gone. MJF versus Starks is coming up next. Paige is a clown. Hello, everyone. Hello, Irish Rebel. Do more tie hunts. I will next year. Ron said Trent versus Trent 7. Amazing. MJF versus Starks next. Yes. Days, I searched your name on famous birthdays. Apparently you was born in 2000 based on the website. Yeah, it's wrong. I was born in 2001. It's apparently saying I'm 22 years old. And that's fake news. Everyone knows I'm 21. So famous birthdays apparently saying that I'm 22 is fake news. Booze for them for fake news. 2001 I was born, guys. I remember it well. The summer of love. Amazing. I forget people's names when I smoke. Professor X, you think you can read minds? You can't feel your legs. It's great stuff, says Eric. What happened to Trent 1 to 6? You know why I think he's called that? It's because we actually have in this country a river called the River Severn. And there's something to do with Severn Trent. There's something to do with rivers, Severn Trent. And it's something to do with the River Severn as well. I think Severn Trent look after water. I'll have a look now. Severn Trent is a water supply company in this country. So Severn Trent Water supplies water to homes. It's based in Coventry and it supplies water to 4.6 million houses in the Midlands and Wales here in England. And they're called Severn Trent. So I think all he's done is he's gone, oh, what I'll do is I'll switch that around and call myself Trent Severn. So it's actually not the number 7. It's 7 as in the River Severn and Severn Trent. Thank you. We all learn things together, don't we?
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
What happened to Tucker? Died. It was Dean Ambrose reference. That's what he said to EC3. Dustin Rhodes should come back as 7 from WCW for his retirement match next year. Trent looked pudgy. I don't remember him like that in NXT UK. We're back from commercial break. Well, some of us are back and some of us are not. The more you know, said Serge. The more you know. Right, here we go then. Here we go. Time for our main event. Holiday Bash, not Hollywood Bash. Holiday Bash. That is going to be match number 5 on December 21st, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we get Elite taking on Death Triangle. Here we go then. MJF versus Ricky Starks. Main event. Main event time. I'm just tuning in. What's happened tonight, said John. Dude, so much. So much. We've had Mandy Rose come out, which was massive. Apparently there is no 90-day non-compete. They've just let her go, seemingly. Must have been part of the agreement. So that was unexpected. We did get Death Triangle against the Elite with the Elite winning. So that's 2-2. Thunder Rosa came back during Anna Jay and Ty Melo. So she came back at the end. That was big. Good to see her back, actually. She looked good. Here's MJF. Time for the main event. What's up with NBA music from NBC? Mandy Rose was there. Mm-hmm. Boom. Absolute Ricky Starks. Brian said Ricky should cheat and win both. Then MJF should cheat Triple B back. Sasha Banks attacked MJF. Joe said this is going to be an entertaining main event. Sasha versus Mandy. That's going to be fire. That's going to be fire. It really feels like we're building towards that at AEW Revolution. Thunder Rosa appearance. Mm-hmm. Never kid a Mandy fan about surprise Mandy appearances that didn't happen. Well, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I saw. That's what I saw. Austin, she did. She did. Thunder Rosa appeared. Mm-hmm. Don't forget Sasha, now the AEW Women's Champion and TBS Champion. That was big to do that triple threat was really surprising and put all the belts like every winner takes all. That's a big move by Tony, but you can understand why he would do it because it protects the champ and it protects Jade because they can say it was a triple threat match and they can say that it wasn't one-on-one, it wasn't fair. It's sort of clever if you think about it, but yeah, that's big. Right, here is MJF. His Dynamite singles record is 17-2. He's only ever wrestled 19 matches on Dynamite. That is record for this year or ever. 19 Dynamite matches. Right, absolute Ricky Starks. Crowd are right behind him. But I'm calling it now. Ricky Starks wins because of outside interference by the Firm. Triple threat match. Is that tonight or is it coming up? It's coming up. It's going to be big. It's going to be big, John. Put it in the diary. Holiday Bash. MJF doesn't wrestle a lot. No, seemingly not if he's only ever wrestled 19 Dynamite matches. The record is for 2022, says Brian. I don't think it is, you know. I don't think that's 2022. It didn't say for 2022. It just said Dynamite record. And don't forget, he's been gone for a long time this year. He wrestled 19 times on Dynamite this year, do you think? I don't know. Is that ever or is that this year? I seriously don't know. 19 matches and he is the champ. I hope MJF doesn't have an OnlyFans. Well, I don't mind if he does, to be honest. I don't mind if he does. Against the ropes. 19 matches. He is the champs. Finger point of doom match. He was gone for most of this year. I can't remember him wrestling 19 times this year. No. Does promos, doesn't he? If that is 19 times ever, I'm stunned. I'm stunned. 19 times ever since Dynamite began, since he was in it. And he's been in since the start. That is stunning. Shoulder tackle. See recent record, but that is total records. MJF jumping into the crowd. Wow, someone's popcorn just got thrown. That's probably not cheap, you know. Popcorn's not cheap when you go to places like this. That dude's hat gets taken off and thrown. MJF jumps over the railing. So, MJF getting into the ring. So, he knocked over someone's popcorn. He took off someone's hat and chucked it around. I was just thinking then, what if someone just smacked him one? What if he did that and someone just went bang and knocked him out? Wouldn't be a great look on TV, would it? The ladder match has been confirmed. Didn't MJF miss most of this year? He did, yeah. I don't understand the appeal of MJF, said Eric. Backslide by Ricky Starks. Inside cradle by Ricky Starks. Kick out by MJF. Clothesline by Ricky Starks. Main event for the AEW Championship and the Diamond Ring. It's all on the line right now. Ricky charging over as MJF moves out the way. Mashizzy. Shout out to you. I'm excited to feel the first sermon when the House of Black return to make more meaner, says Shizzy. Shizzy, hope you well, buds. Hope you enjoyed the House of Black earlier. They are back. They are the House of Back. MJF checking his watch. He's not wearing one, silly Billy. Be dangerous to wear one during a wrestling match. Come on, Eric. Off topic, CM Punk, I think he'll come back. His injury is 8 months. Elite still teasing him. Long play for Double or Nothing, which is 8 or 9 months away, said Jono. Against the ropes goes Starks, and he gets draped over that top rope, goes crashing to the outside. Main event. Picture in picture. P&P, guys. It's P&P. P&P time as Ricky Starks is down outside the ring. Larry said, if MJF and Starks are done after tonight, who does Starks feud with next? I don't know. I feel like Bryan Danielson would make sense. But I don't know if that would be next. Starks has wrestled 25 times since his debut in 2020. Kieran said, Days, let's pray Jobberco will attack MJF. That should be the next feud. He's already got a big win over a former champ. He's beaten a former champ, so. Absolute Ricky Starks. Starks on his hands and knees as MJF goes over. Kick coming into the midsection. Foot in the side of the head there by MJF. Come on, MJF, said Legend Killer. Chops coming in by Ricky. We're getting into the final 10. Adam Cole might come back today. I thought he might take on Jericho, to be honest. I mean, what we got was better. But maybe, yeah, maybe. Thing is, though, Adam Cole, last time we saw him, he was a heel. So unless he's going to come back as a face, and he could do. Hook and Jungle Boy could be an awesome tag team. Hook Boy. Jungle Hook. Hookle Boy. Hookle Boy. I like Hookle Boy. Gilbert will come out, said Justin. Let's go, Ricky. MJF dueling chants. Let's go, Ricky. MJF. Let's go, Ricky. MJF. I'm trying to really, if you're not able to watch, I'm trying to bring that atmosphere to you. Ricky down in the corner. MJF in control. Strike's coming in by Ricky. Forearm strike. Ricky was almost going against the ropes. Hook boy. Hook boy. I might have missed it, but did AEW mention anything regarding Soraya's mystery partner? I don't think they did. Getting back up onto their feet. Did Claudio beat Jericho? He did. Yes, Johnny did. Maggie said, I slayed 4 of them this morning. Last few days have felt colder. Maggie, I hope you're all right. Shout out to you. Let's go. Jobberco chant, said Kieran. I feel like the crowd are pretty invested in this one at the moment. Crowd are into this. Nice abdominal stretch here by MJF. I don't know if you're still in picture or not, but I think you're just coming back now by the judging of it. The AEW World Championship, the biggest prize in our sport, says Excalibur. It's the biggest prize in the sport. He's stretching. He's grabbing a hold of the ropes, MJF. When is the Saraya match? January, I think. January. It's not this week. James said it's currently -4 where I live. Oh, that's a shame. I live in Market Drayton. I would give that about 7. About a 7. I'm sorry to hear that you're so down on where you live, James. I think -4 is probably harsh. I think if on reflection, you'd probably score it a bit higher if you compared it to other places, but bit harsh from James there, rating where he lives. Days, have you got Winter is Coming feel tonight? I do, yes. I do. I've really embraced the Winter is Coming theme. People can say many things about me, but they can't say that I've not embraced that theme. Well, they could. I mean, in all fairness, they could, but they'd be lying. Both guys back up onto their feet. Oof. Against the ropes goes Ricky. Nice kick to the side of the body. Ricky over in one corner. It's 45 degrees in Texas right now, says Adam. Against the ropes. Oh, clothesline. Maggie went against 4 polar bears and won, said Sonny. Is that a sex thing? DDT. Cheers, Days. I was home 5 hours before my feet heated up. I had 2 pairs of socks. 1 pair were knee-length welly socks. Got to do that sometimes. Ooh, I tell you what, that looked like a sex move. MJF was upside down. His legs were like out here like this. I don't know what Ricky was doing. It all looked very kinky. Oh, I didn't know whether I should avert my gaze, to be honest. Look, they're showing a replay. Oh, actually, that was all right. The bit where he had him up, and like there was one bit where MJF's legs were out and up. Like, we went proper chase you. We went chase you for a second. Amazing. The Pebble is on a roll. That was close, says Ron. I live in Florida. Winter never comes here. Shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops all year round, said Wesley. That must be good. I think it's nice, though, to have some snow at Christmas time. Imagine it being hot outside at Christmas. I'd feel like something was missing, I think. My bathroom was so cold, I had a polar bear invasion, says Maggie. Ricky is kicked to midsection.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
Okay, I totally just knocked that by mistake. I do stand by it, though. Merry Christmas, everyone. Roll up by Ricky to reverse. And he... handful of trunks by MJF, but kick out by Ricky. Ricky gets caught by MJ. Oh. He had him up here. I thought he was going to powerbomb him. He does, but sticks his knee out and backbreakers him. That backbreaker was brutal. Brutal. MJF's record overall, 23 singles, 7 losses. Tag 5, 2 were losses. Trios 3 matches, 2 were losses. Thank you, Brian. Amazing, isn't it? That he's such a big talent. Isn't that funny? In how many years? He's had, what, 23 matches? In how many years? Oh, but you wait a few months for a Bray match and it's the end of the world, isn't it? When's Bray having a match? When's Bray having a match? When's Bray having a match? MJF said you've seen it 23 MJF matches in 3 years. Sit down. Did Swerve and Our Glory break up? Yeah. Broke up tonight. It's very dramatic. Slaps coming in by MJF. Here's Ricky Starks firing back. These two wailing away. Bang, 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 bang. Ricky Starks grabs the leg of MJF. Feel like we're getting close towards the end of this show, so I'm going to start typing out the poll. What do you think of Winter is coming? Spear by Starks. Spear by Starks. Ricky Starks is down. MJF is down. 7775 62675 575 or below. I won't post it yet. 5. I think tonight's been pretty good, you know. MJF is good on the mic, but below average in the ring, said Tommy. Maybe we should be happy that Bray hasn't had a match because I don't want the world to end, said John. 1, 2. Oh, reversal by MJF. He's pulling back on the arm of Ricky Starks. Ricky is screaming in pain. Clawing away. Trying to get over to the ropes. Trying to get to the ropes. MJF's got the arm. Ricky still screaming. Ricky trying to get to the ropes. Look, trying to get over. MJF pulling back on the arm. And Starks is trying to use his leg now. And now MJF's trying to grab a hold of the leg, and he does. And now Ricky Starks trying to get the other leg there, and he does. That was good. Trying to get the arm. Nope. Trying to get the leg. Nope. Had to get the other leg. That was nice. That was nice. It's been good. I feel like Winter is Coming is always a big event, from Omega winning the title and the Sting debut, said Scott. Good point. 1, 2. Oof. Take over. Kick out by MJF. Take over again by Starks. Starks flipping over. 1, 2. Bridge by MJF, but he couldn't quite bridge up. 1, 2. He's trying to bridge again, and he does get up this time. He grabs Ricky, picks him up. Ricky lands on his feet. Super kick. Ricky, no joy. Double underhooks. Got him up. MJF lands on his feet, goes behind the referee. Oh, low blow there by MJF. 1, 2, 3. MJF wins. MJF wins. Dynamite, Diamond Ring, and Championship. It's a win for MJF. They'll have another match, said Jeremy. Cheater. It was a little sloppy, said Mitchell. 4th consecutive year. Did someone come down? Are we going to get the Adam Cole thing? I mean, MJF's getting out the ring. MJF is going up the entranceway. Looks like he's off. Oh, he's not gone very far. Bryan Danielson coming out. Bryan Danielson making his way out. Bryan Danielson is not impressed. He's chasing MJF. Almost got caught. MJF hightails it into the crowd. So it looks like Bryan Danielson is going to be the next challenger. Bryan Danielson points at MJF. MJF holds up that AEW Championship. A championship that Danielson has never held. Good match, but awful ending, said Finley. Bryan Danielson should have fought on this show, said Lance. No DQ. Match number 5. There we go. Starks and Danielson embrace as the show fades to black. The ref did see that low blow and then looked away and acted like he never saw it. It was a bit scrappy towards the end. Main event wasn't quite as great as I thought, but not bad. And actually, this show, I thought, oh man, the Jericho moment is fantastic. The Jericho moment is so good. So good. So really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, it's a great that's a great moment. And this show is pretty good, I think. I went with the 775. It wasn't a great show, but it wasn't bad. And the crowd was awesome. I'm going to give this a 675. Wasn't overly as excited as previous years, but matches were decent. I give it a 675. Very fun show. Hot crowd, said Blaze Radio. Few surprises, but I was definitely entertained. This sucked, said Kaysen. Zach said, I've gone 7.5. James has gone 7.5. J14 has got 7.75. Elshawn has got 7. Shakeem said 6.75. Meave with the 7. What happened with Jericho? He lost to a jobber. He lost to Jobberco. Jobberco made it much better. I agree. Hayden said 7.75. Nicholas said 7.5. For me, it was a bit underwhelming. People are harsh. But when I watch the Raw stream and Raw ends up being horrible, people rate it a 9, said Joshua. Well, the only thing I would say is I think that if you actually look at the poll, at the moment, 8 to 10 has got 41% of the vote. So I think that of nearly the 100 people that have voted, 40% of them, the majority have gone 8 to 10. What time is it where you are? It is 3:03 in the morning. Austin said 7.75. I was entertained. Alfred says 7. Steve said 4. James says 3:03. Me and James are on weird time clocks. But we sleep in the same bed, so it's fine. We don't disturb each other. Maggie said, Jobberco, I love it. Franks92 said 8.5. So over 100 votes. We'll see if we can get that up a little bit more. Get it up a little bit more. The ending felt like bad days of WCW, said Tommy. Brian Danielson made his way out. Julia Hart versus Asuka, spit in your face match at WrestleMania, said John. Bucket. That was a little bit sloppy. Let's go down. Wardlow seems to be off the show lately. He's a bit cold, isn't he? He was red hot when he was with MJF, but he's a bit cold at the moment. So yeah. Who's the spoon between you and James? There isn't a spoon. It is literally just me and James. We don't need a spoon, to be honest. We don't. All we do is sleep and make love. That's it. It's not a complicated relationship that me and James have got. Gary said 9 out of 10. Julia Hart. Adam said Morocco versus Croatia this Saturday. Argentina, France on Sunday. It's going to be big. Yeah, it's going to be big. We're doing both of those games. Big Time Back said, I'm going to give it 6.75. It was a great crowd. MJF Ricky was good alongside Jerry Jobberco. What is your phone number? 911. Jericho match saved the show, said me. Sleep, make love, repeat, said Jay. That's my life, Jay. That's my life, mate. Chuck streaming in there. That's pretty much it. Lord help us. Whatever next. House of Black squash match was not a highlight. No, but it could have gone on longer. So, I mean, I'm not the biggest House of Black fan, just because I don't find them that engaging. I don't think there's any sort of backstory there. There's no mythology. There's nothing to get your teeth into. I don't find anything really about them. They're just a bit spooky. That's it. I think it's a nice look, but it's nothing more than a nice look. Like, there's no substance there whatsoever. So I'm not interested, really. I think, if you look at like White Rabbit and all that cool stuff, like, they don't do anything along there. They could be doing loads of little Easter eggs in the background. There could be loads of interesting stuff. They don't. So for me, like, House of Black is just they just look a bit cool. So I ain't gonna be down on them just giving us a bit of a squash. Show was good. I didn't enjoy it that much, but the crowd was hot. And for the Jericho match in the main event, I feel that way about House of Black, said Maggie. Yeah, I like them. There's potential there. I'm not down on them as performers. Like, I think Brody King looks good. We know that Buddy Matthews can wrestle. I like Malachi. Julia Hart, I mean, she doesn't do anything for me, but she looks cool in, like, that kind of all black attire. But you've got to give them some backstory. You've got to give them some substance. There's got to be a reason for us to care. And they just, oh my God, they just don't know how to book them, do they? They just really don't know how to book them. Right. We're at 141. As soon as we get to 150, We'll shut that poll down, and then we'll all carry on with our lives. That's what we're going to do. But I ain't leaving here until that gets to 150, right? I ain't leaving here. John said, what happened to Starks MJF being this amazing match? Didn't quite get there, to be honest. I really thought they would be able to do it because I think that Starks is really underrated wrestler. MJF tends to not really shine that much in his matches, but what he does do a good job of is not overshadowing the babyface. Like, the babyface can look amazing because MJF doesn't. But he doesn't try to. He doesn't try for all these big, impressive looking moves. He just tries to keep things simple, do some classic heel tactics, grabbing a hold of the ropes, all that kind of stuff. He is solid in the ring, but what he does a good job of is letting the babyface shine. And it just wasn't quite there. Daisy's holding us hostage. Well, you don't need to worry because the community, as soon as it heard that we weren't going until we got to 150, you know what this community is like. They ensured that we got to 150 as quickly as possible. And there we go. We're at 151. So 41% went 8 to 10. 37% went 7 to 775. 13% said 6 to 675. And 575 or below, 7%. So people enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. That's 78% of people scored this 7 or above. So, yeah, I thought it was good. There wasn't really anything. I mean, did I need time Melo? Probably not. But to be honest, it was only until the match was on that I heard the commentator saying apparently she was responsible for breaking Ruby's nose, and I don't remember that. So I can understand now why Ruby wanted to face her and get revenge against her. So I ain't got a problem with that, to be honest. So, yeah, it was all right. Right, we're done. Awesome. Don't forget, nothing tomorrow because I've got research to do. It's our last big weekend this weekend. We've got UFC and the World Cup final and the third place game on Saturday. So we've got lots coming up. Of course, we're here on Friday for SmackDown as well. If there are any other little bits of news, because it's been busy for news this week, of course, we'll be dropping stuff onto the channel. So, yeah, appreciate the support, guys. Hope you enjoyed Winter is Coming. If you didn't, don't worry about it, because it's ended, and that's it. You don't need to worry about it now. So, it's over. But as we said, we will be back on Friday for SmackDown. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.